and you're coaching that spawn-based Counter-Strike you've always been dreaming of. Or you take the red pill, and I show you how deep the casting rabbit hole goes. The team you're coaching? Cloud9.
Hey Future Pros! Sometimes in CS you just want to get aggressive and take the fight straight to the enemy. I'll use this mid push from Astralis to demonstrate a reasonably good approach to get up in the faces of your foes on Inferno. It really helps if you're keeping track of the T's economy, as doing this against a fully bought T side will have varying results. This strategy requires 3 Future Pros, 2 HEs and an AWP. Future Pro number 1. You'll be the player who pushes deep into mid. As you make your way to mid, get your HE out and lob it down mid. This makes sure that if anyone does face you, then they will already have taken some damage. Make sure to push along the right side of the wall so you don't get killed by a T holding steps. Tuck yourself into this corner and listen for any noise or calls from your teammates. When Future Pro 3 has made some kind of contact towards T steps, this is your cue to peek out and hopefully get a free kill. After this contact, keep your head on a swivel, as multiple Ts could be about to flood out ult mid or T steps. Future Pro number 2. You will mostly be holding ult mid, but first throw this HE just as Future Pro 1 does. Once you have thrown your HE, it is possible for Ts to be close to you already from ult mid, so be ready for a fight. You can cycle between holding mid and ult mid depending on how the Ts are pushing. Be confident in your aim and quickly process any information you receive. Future Pro number 3, you'll be holding T steps from the top of mid with an AWP. Your role is to relay information to your team and act as support so your fellow Future Pros can't be singled out. And that's it. Going aggressive as CT is always a risk, but if you and your lads are feeling dominant, this can be a great way to control the flow of a match. It could completely fail as well, and if it does, I don't want to hear anything in the comments. Get some DM in instead and keep improving.
Name 3 CS coaches.
Amiran, Remy, and Amy.
Who?
Amy.
Who's Emi?
Amy guy. Serban.
He was a player.
Really?
He was a player in FPX.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a coach, no?
At some point, yeah, but the last role he had was a player. It's okay. But there was so many coaches you could have said. What was the first one?
Amiran. The coach passing level junior.
Okay.
Amy, bro.
It's okay.
Name 3 things you throw on CSGO.
Grenades, rounds, maps.
That was good.
Name 3 people that you are smarter than.
Alex, Crims, and Keita.
I can see that one coming.
Name 3 players who've transferred teams in the last year.
Transferred. Dupree, Magisk, and Monacy.
Name 3 terrible video games.
Valorant.
Valorant, Elden Ring,
Fortnite.
and Fortnite. Elden Ring, I said. What is Elden Ring?
New game, but everyone loves it.
It's okay.
Name 3 things people shout on TeamSpeak.
Can't say that.
I've got nothing. Not safe for work. I don't know.
Offline, online. G2, Gambit, Navi. They were all wrong.
Pero
Name 3 teams who are better online than offline.
Gambit, Heroic, LFO.
Nice. Very nice.
Alex, name 3 websites you visit often.
HLTV, Twitter, Facebook. There are other social media platforms that are available.
Name 3 items of utility.
Smoke, flash, HE.
3 thing Hunter hates. The... Fuck. I got lost. How do you say opposite of cucumber, the other thing? Pickles. Like pickles, mushrooms. And losing in finals.
Hey Future Pros, welcome back to Overpass. Today we have a quick little pop flash for you to learn. It is a CT flash for inside connector. To do the flash, drop into this corner. Aim at the intersection of these lines. Then underhand throw the flash. This should give you an easy kill to anyone creeping up connector.
Hey guys, NIP here. We're gonna have to play a fun game where we have to guess whether or not the name that we say is a band or a CSGO team.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna start with this one here.
Yeah.
These nuts.
These nuts.
Is that a band or a CSGO team?
This is a really tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a CSGO team.
That's completely wrong.
Really?
That's a band.
That's a band.
Yep.
These nuts.
Yeah.
They're for sure gamers though. That's oh, that's tricky.
Fox Academy. Fox Academy. I mean, that gotta be a CSGO team, no?
Did you find out?
I don't know any other brand that's called Academy, so yeah, I'm going with CSGO.
Well, there was a band. I straight throw you a shitty one.
Nothing but thieves.
CSGO team.
100 thieves.
No, nothing but teams.
This is band.
Really?
Nothing, yeah.
You know this one?
No, of course. Nothing but thieves.
No, bro.
No, bro.
Yeah.
No, bro.
No, bro.
No, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that, bro. A band called No, Bro.
No, bro.
Why would you choose that? That's more like a joke name for an open qualifier.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say CSGO.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have said the same, but it's actually a
Oh my
band.
god, dude. Why, dude?
Oh, I'm gonna start this amazing bad. Let's think about a name.
No, bro.
No, bro. Let's take that, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, double pony.
Really?
Yes.
It's CSGO team, right? CSGO team.
Yeah. It's the famous one we played against.
Dark Tigers.
Dark Tigers, that's Czech team.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So that is true. I knew that's the only team that I knew actually as well.
Yeah, that's a.
But yeah,
it's a
it
Czech
is.
CSGO team.
Okay, it is. That was the easy one. I wanted to give you some compliments again.
Lincoln Vikings.
Really? For reals?
Yeah.
You guys gonna have to do better.
Yeah, we have tried against them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say bad. I'm just kidding.
Let me do another one.
CSGO team.
Lemon Dogs.
Really? Is that one there? Oh, okay. CSGO team.
Yep.
X twice.
Okay, guys, so we just finished this game. It was pretty enjoyable, I would say. I have no idea where these names came from, but it has been very fun.
Hello and welcome back, and I'm going to go over the key tendencies and strategies that can be found when preparing against FaZe's Overpass. Starting off on the T side, we first want to look at the key positions and who plays them. We should be looking out for Ross to be the outside B player, Rain to be holding inside a connector, and Twist as the A playground player. Now the first thing to watch out for is Brokey's Molotov or Smoke inside a connector, and that's because it signals a B-sided default. Rain never throws a Molotov or Smoke in this way when he's defaulting connector, so just this detail alone will let the CTs know if FaZe are focused more on B. The second thing to watch out for also in the connector is whenever this flash is thrown. Now this flash signals a more A-sided default where Kerrigan is also in connector and FaZe as a whole are focused more on getting control towards the A side of the map. Now over on the CT side, we also want to know the basic positions of players on the map. We should be looking out for Rain as the A rifler, Brokey as the A opper, Kerrigan and Twist as the B players, and lastly Robs as the B rotator. The last thing to look out for is this close monster setup at B. Kerrigan and Twist like to play this setup quite often where one player is playing anti-flash and the second is taking contact. Being able to break this setup will be the key to hitting B. That's going to wrap it up. Look out for these tendencies the next time FaZe play on Overpass.
What up, Future Pros? I have a nifty fast A smoke I saw Apex throw to help you on your pistol A rushes. You throw this smoke from the T spawn and it will block off the left side of the A side, allowing your teammates to run up short with a bit of smoke coverage. To throw the smoke, first shoot out the glass above. Really, this is the only one you need to break. But shoot them all anyway. Then get yourself stuck into this invisible corner next to this beam. Aim between these two dots as shown and jump through the smoke. This smoke will soar through the sky and land perfectly to block off the vision of short from the bomb site nice and early. As long as your teammates take out anyone playing close, you will have a decent standing to win the round. Good luck and rush A?
I'm gonna go for the back guy. Okay. I'm on the back guy.
Oh, I didn't heal. I had 2 medis. There's so many little ants down there, actually.
Oh, this is gonna be hard.
Oh, guy below rush, below the water tower. I'll show it.
Yeah, good luck. Looks good. Oh my goodness.
Both.
Going.
So, getting pushed by the zone, coming, going around the back. Yeah, I caught that on can to count.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go
here at the red hut at the back. Okay. At this red hut rush. The big rock.
Going.
In the water one.
I got the water.
In between the rocks. In the smoke. In the smoke. A knife.
I was just waiting.
I lost 50 HP and didn't get where I needed to get. So. We'll put that one in the blooper reel, I think, right? 2 lighthouse front door. I'm just going.
Okay.
I got no idea. Oh, I'm on 1, on 2.
Coming. I'm going for the Goom.
Close to me. Oh. Oh dear.
Oh lordy.
Making a pretty strong case. Yam throws it to the wind with 2, and it's going to be Sponge who puts a bow on it. 13 then.
What the hell? Follow the brown bear?
Who is it?
I know you fear this prison. A prison you cannot smell, or taste, or touch. A prison for your mind, for your soul.
Here's a bit of a question for you, because I know one of the interviews we had with Simple is part of the reason they were picking Dust 2 in this event so much was because they had Hetrick brought in. They were like, let's make him comfortable. Let's not worry about that. Now they have Boomich back. They go back to Nuke, and that was a question I remember Hecko even asking, why aren't you picking Nuke even though it's a comfort map? So you kind of agree with that idea of banning Dust 2 despite the fact that Boomich is now back?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
But then again, NaVi has been the world's best team on Nuke for a long time.
Yeah, right.
At least a year. I think
not going to get any easier.
If you go to their stats, there's something like 30 wins, 2 losses.
It's mental, yeah. They've been crazy on it. It's another one of those historic runs.
Well, we'll get underway with the pistol. Astralis starting out on the T side, and I think they touched on it brilliantly, is how good Config is at opening on this map and how much middle control he was able to ascertain over the last few days. So keep an eye on that as BlameF will start things off standard, but holding B essentially by himself right now, just trying to keep the defense at bay as the rest of them are going to head over toward A.
Yeah, exactly. They are running like pretty close contact. Config is searching with the P250. He wants to get the opening. Ooh. And a dink, but through the wall.
Yeah, just throws him off a little bit. But there's a bit for you. Nice headshot and Simple as well. Good combination. The Desk just talked about that pairing and how good they can be. Yeah, this is tough now. I mean, the bomb site, you've lost access to it. So Pissed Around ends up being an absolute slaughter.
Yeah, BlameF was the one that was off the site early on. He's just trying to rotate back over in that direction. No utility to cover off those choke points and the accuracy. Pretty sharp so far from NaVi. So this round, I think, done. We can conclude as BlameF finds himself in a 1-on-5. Katie, and we were talking a little bit before this match started. Boomich is back, but you mentioned Alexi B was kind of slow his first game with G2 and they went through a similar situation. How do you think they'll be? Because, again, Hetrick was playing in the hotel room for a portion of this as well.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly touching upon Hetrick, I think he did a good job for a very young player coming in. And like mentioned in the interview, he didn't even play like the majority of his own positions. And the first time he played at this level, obviously helps a little bit that he could play from the hotel room, but I mean, I'm impressed by what he delivered. In terms of that, yeah, that's just a quick point I think that's important to make is when G2 were playing in the other group, you saw them in the beginning struggling a little bit, and then they brought in Alexi and people like, okay, now we'll get them going, but it's not as easy as you might think when your IGL comes in and you already played like 3 games.
Yeah, well, I guess if it's any consolation, Boomich will be loving the fact that he's had to do absolutely nothing so far. Kills.
Yeah. Also, they met the easier teams in the first 3 games, which like now when it's crunch times, it's
but that is a fair point because we saw that they struggled to close out maps against complexity both times. Simple said he was doing some of the calling, but it was tough on the T side for him. Having Boomich back, yeah, that is a good point that they're going to be against the better teams. But in terms of this game, yeah, I'm sure if they go up like 6-0, he's going to be like, great, I can just find my feet here, boys, get the sea lags out from under me and start on the way, Jason.
For sure.
I'm really excited to see how middle's going to work out for Astralis. They talked about Config and how good of an entry fragger he is, but you are going right at Simple and right at Bit, which is intimidating in its own right. So that'll be a cool battle. And Perfecto in position to get pop flashed in for a little bit of a peek.
I love this double play, remember. We saw yesterday BlameF is very good at doing it as well. We know Perfecto has been playing it oftentimes for NaVi, so pretty common, pretty standard. We'll start to see as the utility gets built up, the Molotovs being put in those positions as well to make it awkward for the T's to get out of those angles and that sort of line of sight. Boost instead, though, for Farlig. Naturally one of his AWP yet, but that doesn't matter because he's got Simple down. Not a bad shot to open up with. Glaive's on 10 HP as well.
Yeah, and he's making a very far rotation now, and they're searching down. This is the, like, when you make these kind of information plays, that shows how powerful they are, right? Astralis gets an opening on B. They're expecting NaVi to rotate towards this side and guard it, close in the window of opportunities, but they're searching for the information now. They know that it's the A side hit, but config on this lurk. Let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, and it also, I mean, the great thing is that pressure on B opens up the window, opens up a little bit of space for Config to make this play. So he doesn't actually have to go at the defenders in this position. Now he's got an easy backstab.
This is a nasty surprise. He's going to go for the knife. Jason?
No, not this early.
We know he's capable.
Only in overtime with 1 HP does he do things like that.
Yeah, I think in this case where they haven't got around yet and he knows that his teammates are low, he probably just wants to be efficient. He's going to get Boomich as well. It's crazy to me that he's so capable of getting up in middle so many times, and it's just standing there like, nah, not a possibility.
I wanted to make this point, but like some early stuff happening, but when we played them, this was like the biggest issue. I had like a really good Ancient against Complexity. I was thriving, running around with the AWP, having a great time. We played against Astralis, and we knew that he was really good at like pressuring middle, but he was like in the window area consistently. So whenever I wanted to move from A to B, I was not able to because he was just there blocking my rotations as an AWPer. So I was completely useless in that game.
And you never know. The hard part too for you in that position as well is because Config has such a deep playbook in that part of the map. Like you never know if he's going to be aggressive like we just saw and flank that A bomb site, or if he's just chilling in a corner waiting for you to walk into his crosshair. So that's got to be a really stressful scenario.
Yeah.
What is the counter? Because if you put resources there, you're opening up somewhere else, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like either you fight him hard in middle, but then the opportunities for like the B area is just way more open, and also A, right? Yeah. A lot of teams are good at like making the fake mid pressure and just running out A, and both sides has some pretty difficult afterplant situations, I would say. So I think what NaVi did there, I played them a few times in practice on Ancient as well, and they're super good at pressuring, like smoking this door, the gate right in front of us, volleying down, getting the flash peaks, these kind of things. I think it's one of the biggest key components of playing the CT side on Ancient is to be aggressive on B.
Yeah, that part of the map can get so suffocating if you have success. Zip's going to lead the way in. He's turned into an entry fragger. The Clutch Minister going in first. He's dropped first as well. Perfecto's got one and still challenging. Doesn't want to swing too wide. He commits there. Traded by BlameF. That's important. And Config now in position again to be aggressive and wrap around, but he's got to wait for the flames to subside. And I think the opportunity's passed, but maybe not.
Config absolutely nails it. They weren't even expecting him to be in that corner. When he gets vision back, makes no mistake on it. Still, he's going to be stared down. This would turn in to be a 4K if he can win out the round. Bomb is in the lane. Boomich certainly aware of it, but they're going to play this on position because they know the position of Config. Some out of the shoulder as he just snuck away, and you can immediately see Simple turn direction with the AWP and stare this lane. So this is going to be difficult for Config to go out with that AWP being so closely guarding it, and Config goes down.
One big compliment there to Boomich. If you notice it, if you look carefully at this 2 versus 1, Simple is locking down the right side with the AWP.
Yeah.
Boomich is jiggle peeking the left one. He has contact with Config. They switch a roo.
Yep.
Simple is now watching the left side, and Boomich is playing the right side, jiggling for information. So he's just playing the numbers, you know, inviting him into Simple's scope. Great play by him.
Yeah, it's basically saying Config's just frothing at the mouth to get into that battle with the FAMAS, and he turns it into, oh, nope, it's actually the Simple's ult. So nice recovery from NaVi, up 3-1.
Exactly, and yeah, you said it. Zip is now an entry player, right? And I think that's one of the biggest issues with at least the old iteration of the Astralis lineup before they got Farley, who's more aggressive than Lucky.
Yeah.
If he's aggressive enough, I don't know. But the problem was before you have BlameF, who's a passive player. You have had Lucky, who was a passive player. You have Zip, who's a Lucky player. And when you have like 3 who's such passive, it's super difficult. And a lot of responsibilities lies on Glaive and Config. So I think it's a more healthy dynamic now.
You obviously know, going deep into the Danish scene, you obviously know these players, way more intimately than we ever could. What was your initial thoughts and reactions to Farley getting picked up into this team? Did you really like that choice?
Yeah, I was actually really surprised that they didn't get him or Aker quicker. I don't know whether Farley or Aker is the right one of the two. I think both of them are super talented. But yeah, I mean, I guess Farley is a little bit younger, a little bit less experience, so but
maybe
still
a little bit more malleable.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I think you can teach him more, but also he's not that inexperienced that he doesn't know how to perform at this level. You know.
Right.
So I think it's a pretty good change.
I think it's interesting that you touched on just the aggression too, because you think back, Dupree's the entry fragger. Device is obviously aggressive. Like, not even looking at the roles per se, but just the personality types. It's apparent. So, see if that pays off for them. Boomich going to start this off. Config down. The MP9 farming up a bit of cash for Boomich. His second kill in the game, so therefore his second kill in Pro League as he's
welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Finally on the board and finally here with his team. Not a moment too soon, I think they'd say, as you're right. They're playing Astralis. You guys play them tomorrow. That is the top side of the group for sure.
Yeah.
And Electronic's going to sneak down. Smoke doesn't fully cover off that elbow position, but he still has the confidence to get up against the wall. And they're trying to bait him out, trying to bounce some flashes. That will be unwelcoming. And he tries to run away, but realizes he's got time to reset. That's going to bait Boomich in, and that's perfect because Boomich gets 2 of the 3 kills, and Electronic comes back for the other.
I think one of the things worth noticing, especially as a terrorist on this map, is the early utility usage of the CTs. If they use double Molotovs in mid, it's super difficult to get that early mid control.
Yeah.
But that maybe allows more room for the quicker A executes or the B presence. Whereas if they only use 1 Molotov in middle, that's probably because they're using 2 or 3 early ones on B to get that control. So you need to kind of sometimes predict what they are doing, and then if you get met with the others, like here it's just 1 molly, right? And Nate, Config is loving this, has the information. Blame, when he's able to, when this Molotov fades, he's gonna connect with him through the upper side of this rafters, and they can gain the mid control, and that's why Config is best.
Oh, Mitch isn't going to allow that though, is he?
No, apparently not through the smoke. Simple being passive. Glave's going to challenge. Oh, Simple's a little bit stuck. Smoke's going to get him out of danger, and he'll cross back over. So mid-access is denied for the moment. 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. You just touched on the utility dump down middle from both teams. Utility getting a little bit haggard for both sides with over 1 minute left in the round.
Yeah. And this is one of the parts Glaive is good at, right? Also creating space, jiggle peeking, searching things, and calling his troops around him.
The interesting thing is they didn't get Config up there. Glaive was the one to push. They still took it together, but look at the response already from A.
They're searching information again, and this is the difficult part about grouping too much. If you group too much and you don't have anyone holding the flank, this is going to be a nasty surprise. Oh, yeah, Electronic.
He got Blame F on low HP. He's going, oh, okay, Config. Turns around and shuts that down, doesn't he? I thought for sure he was on for 2. If he was there a second sooner, they had nades in their hands, but it's not going to work out. And just like that, NaVi, they've opened up that back door on the Astralis side. At least they get the information for this, though. That's the one benefit of this play. 30 seconds left over. Config still trying to find an entry, and Simple's going to walk out. Zipix, you mentioned it. He's usually going first. Now, well, he's the first to fall on the site. Perfecto limited, forced off, and still Astralis find their way in.
When Config gets that kill and Electronics made that play, you know, and you mentioned being grouped up and not having wide map control, is that kind of like a oh crap moment in the round where you're just like, oh, they actually know everything?
Yeah, I think that's a mental game at that point, because you know that they have all the information about your positioning. So now you need to decide yourself if are you execute strong enough that you can just brute force it, and sometimes if you just wait a little bit, it's also going to make maybe the other place overthink. And I also think one of the very meta things right now is that Electronic is most likely not going to make that play alone. You know, he's going to have a guy sneaking out with him. So at that point, you know that now you're 5 against 3 at the maximum on the B side, because Bit, who was behind him, is something that Astralis can probably predict. But yeah, a lot of teams would probably also like you say, Jason, like they would get that kill and they would run out middle and KS it on the A side. And I think both options are viable. It kind of depends on
what read you have and what feel you have.
Yeah. Yep. What kind of playstyle you. But also I will say one thing. If I can't be harsh on Electronic, theoretically speaking, it's not good to keep pushing there.
Yeah, wait for the execute and wrap around quick.
You should. 100%. But it's a mistake that a lot of players make.
Yeah, they also, I mean, just to be nitpicky, there's probably a flashbang somewhere that B-bombs that someone could have lobbed over to make that peak a little bit more efficient and a little bit more safe. NaVi up 4-2, just suffered a tough loss.
Yeah, and I mean, Astralis has been crushed in some of the rounds, but they already have 2 rounds, and the economy on the CT side is suffering right now. So if they win this, it's looking really good on the T side of Ancient.
Zipix, the first one in again, flashed into position, tries to fire the smokes in cave. Simple. So good, so fast, up close, doesn't even need to flick, he's just firing that quickly. He goes back around again, Glaive, and he turns around knowing Config's behind them. Hang on, that's 3 already. He's uncertain as to where the others are, but he's confidently looking for it. He'll go forward of the flames. Don't stand in it for too long. Simple down to 44 HP, but that's going to push them back away from the site rather desperately. And with the bomb down inside of it, the only other option is to work through Jaguar, and they know that now. Electronic does better this time, peeking out, and did what you said that time as well, Casper. Just sat back and waited to pinch them in.
Yeah, played off a contact, was way better. Look at Simple there, though. First of all, potentially Astralis is missing a flashbang to take that next step. Also, one of the guys ran towards the second part, like the right side of B side, and the other one ran to the left, where most times you probably want them like trading each other, running the same direction. Especially if there's not a flashbang, then you should like use that manpower. But look at Simple, how far out he's searching when we get the replay for the next round. He's leaving the obvious position open where the third guy could come in. He keeps just searching further out, which is super risky.
Yeah.
But the players who's further back are scared of peeking into the obvious angle from Simple, you know? And I don't know, it requires some balls to search as far out as Simple did there, but he did it.
He's been doing that his whole career, has he? When he's got that kind of a game.
Yep.
He's so confident, isn't he?
Well, the read of Config wrapping around as well.
Look here, like, this is the first kill, right? Now you just need to watch. Look, he's...
Yeah, taking a big risk.
Right side is just exposed, and then this shot.
I mean, the benefit is, as you say, like, sure, he goes that far. He's pretty much seen the entire site, so the Config can only be behind him at that point.
Well, a cool thing, too, keep in mind as well, just a few rounds back, that 1v4 that we saw Config trying to convert was the same thing. He ran the exact same route on that A hits as well, so Simple had just seen it 2 rounds ago. So, yeah, prepared after that second kill, especially when you swing out that wide. He also sees everything's clear. He's like, someone's missing. Someone's not here.
Exactly.
Timeout taken from Astralis. Second one early on.
I haven't really seen Astralis do this specific strategy before. And I mean, we prepared for them prior to meeting them because we knew that they were going to pick Ancient. So I guess this is a strategy that they have maybe specifically created for NaVi and for their defense. But so far it hasn't been working out for them. So that one is probably running down to the trash can, and they will go back to... I would assume that they would go back to some of their more regular defaults with Glaive and Config working middle.
Yeah.
And the 3 others working B.
Well, the last 2 rounds, they've had all 5 on the B side, so they haven't even considered the A tunnels. And Bit, that round, sat back and watched it, but there already seems to be a bit of a comfort from NaVi saying, like, well, they're not here, and they're already leading those rotations.
Yeah. Sip is prioritizing a lot of grenades and a Mag 10, though, so there's a potential for him running in first and creating some space.
Quiet game from Astralis so far in the fragging department outside of Config, Matt.
Yeah, and Config's going to be the one to go toward the A tunnels right now. He slows it down at the right time because obviously Bit at Donut can hear that. Farlig, though, starts it off with the kill. He burns alive afterward from the early damage. The Flames able to finish him off. Boomich getting the kill. So they trade each other. And Blame F still holding outside of Jaguar. Bit more default-ish, except it's not middle. Config has A. The problem is how do you rotate back to it because Electronics got Cubby at mid.
He's about to flex. You mentioned NaVi maybe feeling comfortable towards the B bomb site. I think this is a play designed to make sure they can't be comfortable moving forward.
The question is if he's going to get spotted getting into ruins or not. What is the timing here? He gets into the first stage. Can he cross the next one without Bit watching him? Oh, it's hard. He's crossed, and this is dangerous for NaVi. Dear. This is super dangerous.
Well, the fun thing is going to be, what about the trigger discipline? Oh, they're actually, he's just going to, this is what we were talking about earlier. He's going to park in CT spawn. He could move forward and try and backstab, but he's going to wait and cut off the rotations. Look, exactly what you mentioned.
They're looking. You could see it. Perfecto's starting to anticipate it. He's been looking to the right every now and then, thinking maybe he's middle, but Electronic's been watching that. They're aware that he could be somewhere. It must be pushing nice.
He's going to get behind them. If he goes behind A now, this is so tricky. And the thing is, the T's also know that the only CT guarding A can be to the right in connector. So if Bit gets one and then Electronics flank, then it's basically one, but oof.
Bit's had some horrible timings in this game so far. Smoke's going to give up the game. They call it in. Look for Config. Simple rotating over. He's never going to expect it. He's done.
Doesn't matter because here comes the reverse flank. Electronic back on the... A main position, a long position rather, gets the first kill. Bomb is down and ticking, and he knows that. You can see it, but he has to be aware of where those rotations are coming from. So, Config finally taken. Bit's the one that gets the kill. Glaive has to hold this, but Smoke going out on it. Caught out. Bit was holding the entire time at Donut. Blame F has the kill finally, but he's so far removed. Surely they just get the defuse, and this is done.
Yeah, there's no angle for that from that position. It's planted just a little bit too wide for his vision. What a weird round.
I mean, Config must feel great to just walk around the map and be like, I can do whatever I want. But Electronics been doing really similar positioning with that mid control.
Yeah. Also, kudos. I mean, Farley died, but he created the chaos that gave Config the opportunity for the
How often do you see an AWPer make that kind of a run?
The first guy I saw making it, I guess that's also where Farley stole it from, was Mantu.
Okay.
And it's actually very not Mantu-ish to make that peak because it's pretty risky. But I've been copying it with pretty good success as well. So, yes, it doesn't happen often, but it catches that guy by surprise quite often, yeah.
Clean kill from Perfecto. There was no flash there that I could see pushing down toward the gate, and Xyp9x goes back that direction. Here comes Electronic again. Peeks it, done. Gets the first kill, no problem. Xyp9x down. Perfecto is going to try and back on this because he knows they're going to be staring that direction. Knows they have no guns, and Perfecto indeed. That's pretty well timed on the peaks.
Yeah. And this is where now we're getting into a point for Astralis where they need to start swinging some rounds together.
Yeah.
I remember highlighting the economy at 4-2, saying that this is a crucial moment for both teams, and NaVi pulled ahead. And ever since, it's been their game, their rounds. Now Astralis needs to get back into the groove. I think they were a little bit unlucky in the last one because Config had such a good play, but so did Electronic.
Yeah, it's going to take like 2 to 3 rounds of victory for Astralis to take this economy away from NaVi.
Missed the molly, the deep one.
Config's going to love that. That's the dream. Smoke comes. Oh, he goes through it. What a beast. Wow. What a beast. He's got Simple as well. That's beautiful.
Oh, if he hits that on Electronic, I just bow down at that point. Electronic gets it back, but you're right. Push that flame a little bit sooner than they were expecting. The eyes were still up toward Catwalk. Farlig's got to be careful here. Is there a flash to go with it this time for Perfecto? There's no one in the site, so no, there's not. He's got to go alone. He's got a lineup. Farlig killed Glaive. Oh, he baited him into it. He got away. I thought he got it through the edge of the box, but no, Farlig overreacts, and they have to be gray screened. They can't go through it. Perfecto's giving up all of his ammunition, though. A little bit nervous, I think, in that situation.
A little bit blind, I think. I think he's just hoping and praying they're actually going to jump through it while he's spraying down, but this flank could be everything. Farlig's going to come back and check it. One missed shot, and Boomich is going to open up an avenue back into the round. Farlig unsure of where it's going to come from exactly, but the elbow shows first, and Electronic likely going to back off. Maybe see if Farlig will give him a mistake, and he does. Now the retake can actually move forward.
I would have thought Farlig checks that with a little bit more cautiousness, because Electronic's been near how many rounds at this point?
Run away. That's a percentage play.
Yeah, especially with this kind of a lead, too.
Yeah. Also, like... The thing is, if you look at Electronic's economy right now, 8,300, Simple would easily be able to get dropped one from the Electronic. It's not so much about that, it's about removing it from the hands of Astralis, right? They're going to have a very difficult time dropping it. Let's see if LMF has some money. He has 4,800, but then he can't have any utility. So they're probably going to opt for no AWP and the more utility. So that's the rough side of being an AWP when you lose it like that. You're just not going to get it back.
All good. They end up winning at the end of the day. All right, 4-round lead for NaVi. Things getting a little crazy, a little hectic. It's good to see Astralis get a round back on the board. They put a stop to a 3-round streak from NaVi.
Sick play by Config, though.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. I mean, you give a mouse a cookie, right? Back to the A-bomb site. Perfecto this time, and he's perched deep behind the box. There will be no sneaking through ruins for any kind of a backstab for Config.
Well, that's interesting. They're switching around the positions a little bit because he's the usual banana player, right? And now he's here on the other side, so that's something that can mess around with the team speed comes a little bit.
Well, and no one actually in the B-bomb side either. Boomich is in cave over towards Jaguar. Simple Electronic push deep down middle. So actually more than happy to play retake.
This smoke is everything though. Glaive was waiting it out. AK wins the duel and Simple can't follow it. I would have thought actually laser beam on the spray. Okay, Blame F, that's just unfortunate. Sorry you run into a guy who's red hot right now with flicks. If he had to hit that, okay. Smartly he waits for the accuracy shot. I thought he was just going to fire it while jumping. It's simple, why wouldn't he? But he does follow up. Yeah, he does follow up with the kill, and Glaive goes down. So they've pulled this into a very winnable situation, you could say, with the 4-on-1.
Yeah.
What are you calling now? Let me ask you a question. Just as an in-game leader, you put yourself in the position where you're about to be down 8-3. You've called 2 timeouts already in this game. It's obvious you come into this, your initial plan. Plan A hasn't worked. You've tried some things. Plan B has been, 50-50. It's been up or down. Are you using a 3rd timeout right now and talking things over?
Yeah, for sure. I think like the thing is with the, you have the 4 timeouts, and for me it's not like you have to use 2 and 2 per half or anything like that. Yeah. I think right now, for Astralis to have a chance of winning this map, it's very important to get that 1 or just 2 extra rounds on the T side. Because if they get the momentum running as CT, which they need to make the comeback, you don't need to adjust as many things. It's easier to do it when you're winning, right?
Yeah.
So look for a better solution here. I think the first half has not been very Astralis-ish, but now they're rushing B. Let's see how this goes.
And it's retake as well. Perfecto and Boomich, they're going to be stuck behind a smoke, so they should at least get a plant, which is going to be great, although Boomich gets another spam kill. Previously, Config was taken down through smoke at the A-bomb site. Now they get a blind kill through the very thin boarded wall, and Simple gets a blind kill, so a little bit of luck, or a lot of bit of luck going the way of NaVi.
A lot is still not a bit, Jason. I'm going to call you out on that one. But Bit and Perfecto with kills to follow it up, even though the bomb's gone down. Glave's in a desperate situation. Doesn't even get a chance on the shoulder peek.
What's your guys' opinion on that wallbang from Cave to the B side? What do you think about it?
I mean,
I think it's too powerful, don't you?
I think it's just
trying to get our opinions first.
So I don't know if you've heard me say this before. I think that site, the pillar is too tall and too narrow. It serves no purpose being as tall as it is. And if they want to go with sort of this dilapidated ruin aspect of it, break off the top brick and fall it down so you have more coverage to plant. Because I think as strong as that wallbang is, I think the boosted stairs is strong too, because if you go plant default, you literally, even if there's a smoke, you just line your crosshair up with the edge of the pillar and it's an easy kill.
You don't even need the wallbang. People lined up just in the wall and just step out through the smoke and spam.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that spam, just because it gives you, it also gives you the option to like play retake on that bomb site. If that spam isn't there and you can't delay the plant in any way from that position, then all of a sudden those old school like smoke executes on that B bomb site go back to being super powerful, and you don't really have a whole lot of options all the time for your defense.
I guess it's true. It creates some good after.
It's great from a spectator
and stuff as well.
It's great from a spectator perspective, as you say too. It is pretty sexy that you can just spray into it and you feel so clever and it looks so cool. But brings back a bit of the 1.6 nostalgia where everything was paper thin. Perfecto makes Xyp9x look pretty thin. I mean, to be fair, Xyp9x is pretty thin, but that was nonetheless the play to make, and he gets the kill. Simple as well, firing on far leg. This is a dominant half so far from NaVi, as they're looking to go 10-3. Glave's the one up middle this time. Only one kill, though, and tagged down to 42, and now they know exactly where he is.
Yeah. I mean, one of the points I was trying to make before I saw the B-rush and just wanted to let that happen is I don't think this first half is very Astralis-ish from what I've usually seen on this map by them. I think they're usually pretty good at like Blame and like Zip going up and pressuring a Cave a pretty late round.
Yeah.
Config and Glaive getting mid control. Zip is just watching the banana push as well sometimes with the AWPer. And then sometimes they find timings in window and A, stuff like this, where they've just been grouping a lot, where on all the other maps they are spreading out a lot, creating chaos, getting map control. You know, that's also what Astralis has been known for many years.
I think it's like something they saw maybe in like preparation for this, and like we can really try and exploit this. Let's switch up our style.
Yeah, it can be. Maybe they expected NaVi as well to just prepare a lot for those mid defaults.
Have more attention on middle, so they'd have more openings at the bomb sites.
Yeah. So I mean, theoretically speaking, by that logic, it makes sense to do the B things they have, because it's like 5 against 2.
Yeah.
But Simple has also been standing there at the right time, at the right moment a few times with AWP. And
well, between him and Electronic, they've both like stepped up and had some heartbreaking rounds that have just ripped good situations away from Astralis. So yeah, been tough coming into this first round, especially the conversation too around Config being the best entry fragger on Ancient at the moment. He's largely been negated. I mean, he's got 10 kills, but everyone else after that is in a rough place.
Yeah.
So this is the double molly that you talked about.
Yeah, and this nade can also be a little bit nasty. Oh, it's too deep.
Ward caught a leaf. Electronic goes down. That's the AUG holding the angle. Good find from Glaive.
Is he gonna give it to one of his teammates with full HP? I recommend it.
You'd expect Glaive would.
Call Config over.
Here, Farlig, you can. Oh, give me the smoke. Give me everything. Strengthen me more, despite the HP.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
He's got watch right now, though. Boomich wants us back. They're ready for it. Sees the elbow. Ooh, gets away with it. Gets tagged up. No, he didn't actually. Excuse me. It was Config that took a bit of the damage. But he'll get the gun now, so there's 2 picked up.
Oh, there's some missed window smoke. And even though there's no one there, it's maybe going to create some, chaos. Let's see. Still going to utilize it. Sneak forward or what?
Bit holding that passive angle, though, should be able to spot them when they go by, but naturally you'd expect they'll check that. They don't have a flash, though, to push him off the angle. Config just wins it straight up. Molotov goes deep. That'll put them in deeper to the site, but bomb drop. Hung forward. Simple controls the destiny of the round at this point in time. Perfecto already aware that they're getting in behind. Simple swinging out from the smoke, put inside of ruins, finds another. Controlling, again, his angles as well as the destiny perfectly. He knows there's likely one to get by, and Perfecto's heard that. Bomb dropped again. 26 seconds. Round falls apart. Even though they got up middle that time, they still can't get it done.
We just mentioned it. Simple and Electronic just as it being the absolute dagger every time Astralis is in a perfect or an advantage situation, and this time it's the longest, narrowest corridor on the map, and there's no smokes. Yeah, 2v5. Bit went down as well, and Simple, it's just huge. 2 rifles were picked up by Astralis for the one that Glaive brought in. Config had the other one in middle. There's just nothing you can really do if you're Astralis and the bomb drops in that situation, that position. Heartbreaking, really. I guess, in, on one sense, you got to be happy that, I mean, because one of the other things that you mentioned was G2 bringing in Alexi a little bit late, and that group was like that little bit of rust when Alexi comes in. Well, NaVi's got none of it. I think they've got to just be, I have to imagine Simple's just like, thank God I don't have to call.
Now he's just leaning back, chilling, doing his thing.
Yeah.
18-4, half is not even done.
Yeah.
Just simple things.
And the thing is as well, yeah, like they're playing so well right now and going off. They also have to start CT side, so he's not as, you know, they're a pretty well-coordinated and communicative team in that regard. Doesn't have to do anything crazy in the first half. He himself hasn't needed to go off because he's had 2 players being successful. It's like the perfect entry to the tournament. It really is. Like, just show up. Thanks, guys. I'm here now.
Let's pray for our main man, Sip, to get a kill. Otherwise, he's going to go first half without a kill.
Oh, the goose egg.
And
that'd be no fun.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Give him a good flash. Do some.
On the entry now as well. I guess that speaks about how the entries have been going. Cajun B once did this with TSM back in the day at DreamHack Bucharest PGL kickoff, as it were, and then they went on to win the finals. So
okay, so
maybe it's an omen.
He can bring good things.
Exactly. Cajuns out there like, don't worry, Zip. Been through this before, buddy. I'm here for you.
The only trophy, or the only big trophy North ever won was also after losing 16-0 in the first map of the semi-final, right?
Oh, it's Stockholm, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Malmö,
Stockholm's
right?
done that to a few people, because that happened to the Luminosity lineup as well when they first picked up Cold.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went 0-16 against Fnatic, and then went on to beat them in the final. It was like, huh? Like, how did that happen?
They lost to him in the final.
That's right. You're right. Sorry, that's right. They had a huge run, and they did still lose.
It's all good. Points.
Take care of this guy, though. He's been doing this many times. Oh, can we get a trade?
Hold, couldn't get the double. Yep, Config able to slide back in. That has been the cat and mouse game for me this half. Those two just trying to get control.
Yeah, but Boomich and Perfecto aren't really pressured to make any kind of a crazy player rotation because you've got actually 2 defenders at this bomb, so you got Bit and Simple, and they both have ops, so they both get a kill.
That's like the perfect crossfire. They both drop side by side. Like, okay, well, both ops are over here. Let's go elsewhere. Farley's going to try and divide and conquer. Go straight up the middle, but 1 versus 4 on an AWP. 16 seconds. This one's done. Gets taken down by Boomich, and it has happened. Poor Zipix, 0-2 and 14 in the first half.
Poor Zipix, poor Astralis.
Making a pretty strong case. Yam throws it to the wind with 2, and it's going to be Sponge who puts a bow on it. 13 then.
What the hell? Follow the brown bear?
Who is it?
I know you fear this prison. A prison you cannot smell, or taste, or touch. A prison for your mind, for your soul. I want you to break free. And I know you want to. You want to feel the taste of victory on your lips once more. And so, the choice is yours. You take the blue pill, and the story ends. You wake up in your bed, and you're coaching that spawn-based Counter-Strike you've always been dreaming of. Or, you take the red pill, and I show you how deep the casting rabbit hole goes. The team you're coaching? Cloud9.
light that Maui Snake thought perhaps there was a chance for an upset win by Astralis based on what he'd seen so far in this group, and specifically Config. That was really nowhere to be seen, as we've got Cadian alongside Moses, two good minds of Counter-Strike. I'll let you guys keep going at it.
I mean, look, all the cards were there, with Boomich coming in late, maybe hopefully a little bit rusty, but obviously that just wasn't the case. Simple's heroic P250, the raid boss buy.
It's interesting because the raid boss you typically think is Deagle, but he's going to run the P250 with it. Why not? Config needs to be sharp. That's pretty good for a Glock to win that one from range, as Boomich finds Glaive as well. Bomb gets planted. Xipix is on the board. It only took one round in the second half. He gets his first kill in the game, and he'll want to build on that without a doubt as Blamef comes back in to find Bit. It's Farley that goes down on the site, giving NaVi still a chance to hold this bomb off. They've got the man advantage, and, well, make that doubly so. There's no kit yet in play for Xipix. Smoked off as well at Donut, and that actually is counterintuitive and counterproductive for him, because that's actually just going to buy them more spacing coverage, and through the smoke, they'll get the kill instead.
But more importantly, good to be on the board.
Yeah, right. Feel good moment.
we have all tried it, right? Being like 0 and something, and it's just a relief just to get that one kill.
And sometimes, like, just for like the team environment, you got to latch on something to make everyone smile.
Everyone's gonna be like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Remember, I think it was Forest at some big tournament as well, where they were like getting beat very big, like 11-0, 12-0. He just knew it was GG, but when he got that round, he was just full on celebrating like he never does.
Rain did that in Australia as well at one of the Sydney events. He was like 0-11, and the whole crowd went nuts when he got his first kill. Standing ovation.
Oh, it's a full eco. So right now, Astralis are gambling on coming back from a 14-3 lead, and by all imagination, that would be one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
It would be impressive. It's like one of those real, like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I guess, like, this is, I don't know. There's always like no right call to make.
Look, we've seen some 12-3s in this tournament so far. Electronic's going to take down Glaive, but we saw comebacks from that too. You look at complexity, right? Like, it's not out of the
nobody coming back on this NaVi right now.
You look at this scoreline, right? Like, Xipix has 1 kill. Blamef has 4. Farlig has 3. Glaive's dead in this round. He has 6. 12 Config. He's the only one in double digits. He's the only one that's really done anything for them. It's not even the rounds. It's like, I'm surprised they even got 3 rounds considering they have that few that small amount of kills.
They are looking fired up. They're having a good time. The IGL is back, leading 14-3 on the opponent's map pick. And NaVi is also throwing away a lot of those question marks being sent their way. Obviously a team right now who has a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Not just in the server, but primarily outside the server. So for them to play like this is also erasing some of the question mark from Katowice, I think.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind, you and your team also have that same kind of thing where you have a lot of things weighing on you outside the server as well. Can you when you're playing in these kind of circumstances, can you feel that extra weight a little bit on you?
Yeah, you can. For us, it was a lot about like a lot of people not what's it called?
Legitimizing?
Yeah, like our capabilities on LAN, and if we were even like legit players and stuff like this. So
are you?
Yes. So you really want to like prove that, and then I just think that it's not only about when you're in the server, it's just all that effort and mental training from just being.
Yeah. Just dealing with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Fnatic talked a bit about that too. I talked the interviews. I did one with you as well when we were at Blast. We did them for Dexerto, and we talked sort of about Kerrigan and Olaf in their career. Hang on, Electronic. Shut out this time. We've got a round potentially for Astralis as he walks into the crossfire. I'll come back to my thought because, yeah, he mentioned just the JW aspect and them sort of being the villains of the community, and that was tough to tax him to deal with as Glaive deals with Perfecto 14-4. So maybe the fully eco was worth it, Cadian.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's always hard to say because your chances are also just so low with just like Deagles and 5-7s.
Yeah.
So I can understand the point, but obviously it's way more difficult to do it when you are that far behind.
Yeah, it's a low percentage with Deagles and Scouts and 5-7s, but then it's also low percentage to think you're going to rattle off, 12 just to get to overtime without NaVi getting 2?
Yeah, exactly. Like, all it takes is one entry from Simple Electronic or a double headshot from Bit, and that's it, and those kind of things happen way more often.
Way too often than you'd like.
Yep. But Blade is taking a timeout, and I think that also shows how serious they are about the T side of Ancient, that it can be super difficult, because even though they're leading 14-4, it's also about winning before like all the orbs is out and stuff, and you can also see Config is on a FAMAS, so they're close to having the full equipment they want, but 2 players on a FAMAS and you have 4 guys with an AK. So let's see how this is going to pan out. Aggression on the B side from Astralis by the looks of it.
And this is kind of what we expected to see, those double Molotovs down toward the gate and then trying to push it, but they won't get that far. Farlig already found by Bit. No chance they'll get any control over at A this time. Further exchange.
Away the entry. Throwing away the entry from spamming a smoke with a deagle. That is not my likings.
The low percentage play.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to survive at least. He can just chill. Got a little bit of utility.
I think one of the strong passes, they killed the AWP player and he didn't have an AWP. There's no AWP in the server. This creates a lot of opportunities for how you want to play with the AKs. You're not scared of like all the AWP angles and stuff like this. You can search knowing you have the 1 bullet headshot.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a connector smoke from T-Spawn, but are they using it as a fake, or why is it throwing it from here compared to other positions?
Might have just been chilling in position. Good kill from Bit as he enters in. Smoke going to come in late, bounces.
That's the smoke. Back. That is the late one. That's a crazy long smoke, but yeah, the timing of it, they entered on it.
Might be, I would assume it's just so they can actually kind of make it look like a contact play as that smoke's kind of coming in and you're not giving away the game by throwing it from a quicker smoke.
Yeah, that can definitely be true. That can definitely be true.
Boomich gets to lurk with that deagle. Get you one.
Oh, I don't think they saw him. I thought they saw him when they first ran by, but Xyp9x will get Boomich down. He'll take and welcome any additional kills, no doubt at this point. But they're
going to lose both these, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Simple's already here. Electronic's going to take the lane as well. They could work together, or they could split it. They've got Bit going the other way. All 3 players on top of them, and removed just like that. It is map points already for NaVi.
I know.
He's so good.
It's so weird.
His headshot percentage is literally displayed right there. You don't even see more than just his elbow or his shoulder, and it's just first bulleting you in the face every time. Like, I remember when he was coming up, I really didn't know what was coming for us players who had to face him. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, they're pulling in a guy. Is he better than Flamey? Potentially, you know, but his aim is just so effing strong.
It's ridiculous.
I remember scrimming against some of like the tier 2, tier 3 like Russian teams when I was with Liquid. Those guys shoot so hard.
They shoot so
and
hard.
Bit is just like the random Russian player who is just like promoted. And it's like, oh, this is what it's like in every scrim against those teams.
So true. And again, a quick trade. Pretty lucky from Electronic being completely blind, just holding mouse 1. But again, it creates the movement on the map. It creates spaces, rotations. And let's see how NaVi is going to capitalize off this. You see that they left Simple towards middle and A to watch these flanks, where Astralis was continuously grouping up all of them. So what is he? He's looking for a smoke or something. Now he's lining up something. Ooh. And the patient pays off. Flash middle.
Tell you what he lined up. Farlig's head.
Yeah.
Really quick before this map ends, because I'm assuming it's going to end here. When you're in like these kind of like man down situations on the CT side, and obviously don't give anything up, but I mean, like, you know, every map has like a play you can make on the CT side when you're disadvantaged. Yeah. Is there does this map provide some of those openings for teams?
Yeah, I think you can re-aggro middle quite okay from like window and connector or donut or whatever people want to call it.
Yeah.
I think that's very viable to just do it slowly, but. Then again, it's like, you know, on every map, Jason, it's also that kind of mind game thing if you want to wait or not. And damn, boys.
Yeah, that one was fast.
You invite me for a cast and it's...
I know, it's the quickest game of the tournament. Either way, we got to quickly go over to Heku because she's going to have an interview with the winners.
What the hell? Follow the brown bear?
Who is it?
I know you fear this prison. A prison you cannot smell, or taste, or touch. A prison for your mind, for your soul. I want you to break free. And I know you want to. You want to feel the taste of victory on your lips once more. And so, the choice is yours. You take the blue pill, and the story ends. You wake up in your bed, and you're coaching that spawn-based Counter-Strike you've always been dreaming of. Or you take the red pill, and I show you how deep the casting rabbit hole goes. The team you're coaching? Cloud9.
Hey Future Pros, sometimes in CS you just want to get aggressive and take the fight straight to the enemy. I'll use this mid push from Astralis to demonstrate a reasonably good approach to get up in the faces of your foes on Inferno. It really helps if you're keeping track of the T's economy, as doing this against a fully bought T side will have varying results. This strategy requires 3 Future Pros, 2 HEs and an AWP. Future Pro number 1, you'll be the player who pushes deep into mid. As you make your way to mid, get your HE out and lob it down mid. This makes sure that if anyone does face you, then they will already have taken some damage. Make sure to push along the right side of the wall so you don't get killed by a T holding steps. Tuck yourself into this corner and listen for any noise or calls from your teammates. When Future Pro 3 has made some kind of contact towards T steps, this is your cue to peek out and hopefully get a free kill. After this contact, keep your head on a swivel, as multiple Ts could be about to flood out ult mid or T steps. Future Pro number 2. You will mostly be holding ult mid, but first throw this HE just as Future Pro 1 does. Once you have thrown your HE, it is possible for Ts to be close to you already from ult mid, so be ready for a fight. You can cycle between holding mid and ult mid depending on how the Ts are pushing. Be confident in your aim and quickly process any information you receive. Future Pro number 3, you'll be holding T steps from the top of mid with an AWP. Your role is to relay information to your team and act as support so your fellow Future Pros can't be singled out. And that's it. Going aggressive as CT is always a risk, but if you and your lads are feeling dominant, this can be a great way to control the flow of a match. It could completely fail as well, and if it does, I don't want to hear anything in the comments. get some DM in instead and keep improving.
Name 3 CS coaches.
Amiran, Remy, and Amy.
Who?
Amy.
Who's Amy?
Amy guy. Serban.
He was a player.
Really?
He was a player in FPX.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a coach, no?
At some point, yeah, but the last role he had was a player. It's okay. But there were so many coaches you could have said. What was the first one?
Amiran. The coach passing NaVi Junior.
Okay.
Amy, bro.
It's okay.
Name 3 things you throw on CSGO.
Grenades, rounds, maps.
That was good.
Name 3 people that you are smarter than.
Alex, Crims, and Keita.
I can see that one coming.
Name 3 players who've transferred teams in the last year.
Transferred? Dupree, Magisk, and Monacy.
Name 3 terrible video games.
Valorant, Elden Ring,
Fortnite,
and Fortnite. Elden Ring, I said. What is Elden Ring?
New game, bro. Everyone loves it.
It's okay.
Name 3 things people shout on TeamSpeak.
Can't say that.
I've got nothing. Not safe for work. I don't know.
Offline and online? G2, Gambit, NaVi. They were all wrong.
Better.
Name 3 teams who are better online than offline.
Gambit, Heroic, LFO.
Nice. Very nice.
Alex, name 3 websites you visit often.
HLTV, Twitter, Facebook. There are other social media platforms that are available.
Name 3 items of utility.
Smoke, Flash, HE.
3 things Hunter hates. Cuke, the... Fuck. I got lost. How do you say opposite of cucumber, the other thing? Pickles. Like pickles, mushrooms, and losing in finals.
Hey Future Pros, welcome back to Overpass. Today we have a quick little pop flash for you to learn. It is a CT flash for inside connector. To do the flash, drop into this corner. aim at the intersection of these lines. Then underhand throw the flash. This should give you an easy kill to anyone creeping up connector.
Hey guys, NaVi here. We're gonna have to play a fun game where we have to guess whether or not the name that we say is a band. X twice.
Okay guys, so we just finished this game. It was pretty enjoyable, I would say. I have no idea like where these names came from, but it has been very fun.
Hello and welcome back, and I'm going to go over the key tendencies and strategies that can be found when preparing against FaZe's Overpass. Starting off on the T side, we first want to look at the key positions and who plays them. We should be looking out for Ross to be the outside B player, Rain to be holding inside a connector, and Twist as the A playground player. Now the first thing to watch out for is Brokey's Molotov or Smoke inside a connector, and that's because it signals a B-sided default. Rain never throws a Molotov or Smoke in this way when he's defaulting connector, so just this detail alone will let the CTs know if FaZe are focused more on B. The second thing to watch out for also in the connector is whenever this flash is thrown. Now this flash signals a more A-sided default where Kerrigan is also in connector and FaZe as a whole are focused more on getting control towards the A side of the map. Now over on the CT side, we also want to know the basic positions of players on the map. We should be looking out for Rain as the A rifler, Brokey as the A opper, Kerrigan and Twist as the B players, and lastly Robs as the B rotator. The last thing to look out for is this close monster setup at B. Kerrigan and Twist like to play this setup quite often where one player is playing anti-flash and the second is taking contact. Being able to break this setup will be the key to hitting B. That's going to wrap it up. Look out for these tendencies the next time FaZe play on Overpass.
What up, future pros? I have a nifty fast A smoke I saw Apex throw to help you on your pistol A rushes. You throw this smoke from the T spawn and it will block off the left side of the A side, allowing your teammates to run up short with a bit of smoke coverage. To throw the smoke, Massive
aware
up.
of their opponents because the little nuances, the double Molotov down middle versus the single and the nade and what that means and how to push. They're very aware of their opponents. And I find it always interesting to listen to that in live time. But we go to Nuke, and hopefully Astralis is alive this time, Jason, because they really weren't on Ancient.
No, they, yeah, we were both just kind of laughing between after the first map because we were both buckling in for a long, grinded out 3-map series. And I mean, look, maybe we still get 3 maps, but that first one, NaVi just cruised. Boomich has got the opening kill. Simple doesn't initially clear, but he does react in time. Farlig doesn't even hit him. Config with 1 kill. Bit goes down. Zipix. Locker room windows, but Boomich has already made it up top. He missed that timing, and Config falls. He tries to get a little bit more aggressive, make a play to bring it back a little bit more even, and now Zipix's position is known as well. Simple takes a few shots at him, and this is awkward. No way for Glaive and Zipix to get working together. They're both under some pressure right now. Zipix just by gunfire, Glaive due to his positioning and his play on the map. Bombs being planted as we speak.
Glaive swinging around. Good catch onto Electronic. That's going to give them 1. Zipix still trying to do battle outside and get toward the bomb site, but he's completely cordoned off because he's got a player in the garage. He's got one of the lockers. His only sense of coverage is that blue box. He needs to get away from that to be less predictably placed, but Perfecto runs him down and round over. He's the last to die. I was going to say the last surviving, but none of them did. And as a result, we already have 1-0 for NaVi. Big Bad Boom with 3 that time.
Yeah, he was. Sorry, I was looking at the interaction. Electronic. Stanley, your microphone's not working, bro. Config with the 1 kill, but mostly just in desperation, trying to make something happen after they lost 2 players. So the nightmare continues. The terror from NaVi continues. Farlig got $1,000 in the bank. Everyone's upgraded pistols on the Astralis side, but Farlig has declined to get armor, so he can save up for the AWP. Electronic, some early damage from the nades. And Simple is going to find a couple kills over towards ramp room. And that's going to be 1-0, or it's going to be 2-0 when all is said and done in the favor of NaVi.
Blame F. Deagle is inside of the big garage, but so far inside of it that he's actually watching back to his spawn, and that's not going to be doing anything for holding outside. So he swings back around to spot 1 at the box. That only just summons another to come out from the annex, though, and surely his time now numbered. They know where he is. So the armor and the Deagle at risk, and NaVi will go up 2-0.
Ooh.
Why? You'll love to see that. It's
spicy.
Can I have his Deagle? Mine never does that.
Mine doesn't either.
I would have like ricocheted the bullet back and hit me somehow.
Yeah. Been there.
It would have been like that guy that experimented. Yeah, please, can I have his Deagle? The guy that experimented with the 3D printed gun, and when he shot it, it just like exploded in his hand or whatever.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, well, guy didn't really think things through, did he?
Oh, the nade smoke is going to make that one a bit more difficult, but still, all being said, he almost got Perfecto down as well, so great damage done. Great damage done to the economy of NaVi, but they're going to be able to shake it off. This was the round that really was the danger in this next one. Astralis can't really invest a whole lot. A few more Deagles picked up, but no armor behind it. So here we go, 2-0. NaVi just demolishing Astralis on their map pick to start the series. Now you have to go to a very, very strong and comfortable map for NaVi if you're Astralis to try and extend this series. Electronic gonna spam through the smoke as he crouch slides. He's gonna make it all the way across. Position on the map that we have enjoyed watching him play over the years. He's so good outside on Nuke.
Yeah, Nuke's, it's become like the middle ground of the map pool. We talked about the I know I use the same terminology, the middle ground maps, but things like Inferno and Mirage that end up being late in series because they're kind of stalemates between them. Nuke used to be at the extreme end where it was kind of a permaban for everyone. Now it just kind of floats in the pool. It just kind of is either there or it's left out. It's not usually banned. It's interesting to think that because for a long time, I know, not necessarily relevant to right now, but if you're a newer fan, you even go back to 1.6, it was like the most one-sided map. People hated it. Some teams really liked it, obviously. Someone's got to like it, but it was not the go-to, that's for sure. now I think it's become very, very good the way it plays. And I love it because it is, I mean, Vertigo obviously now as well, but it is one of the only maps with multiple levels, which is very difficult to design for obvious reasons. Gravity is very one-directional.
Yeah. Oh, simple.
What a statement.
Jesus.
Oh my, why is that done that to us? I love when I try and sound smart.
Oh, Jesus. Well, Simple is, he's in a mood today. I think he's having a celebration that he's got his big boy Boomich back in action in the lineup here at ESL Pro League because he is a monster, just walking into entry kills everywhere he goes. 3-on-3. There is a kit on config. Low HP, and Simple's gonna hide behind the doors. Do they want to go for it, Astralis? This is a lot of economy to put into a retake early on in the game. You could lose so much. They're hoping, oh, they know he's there, and they don't want to move forward. So Astralis backs off. Although one player's not gonna get away. Config surely gonna go down. Farlig, gotta be careful with that op. Simple's gonna come hunting. Little jiggle peek and a tap. The bullet goes upwards, and he's still trying to bait out the shot to hunt this down. Farlig is playing a dangerous game because a second player is gonna come join up, but Simple calls the hunt off. So 4-0 for NaVi on the T side of Nuke.
Trying desperately, as we saw the M4s silenced, prevailing in this situation, but not long enough as NaVi able to make amends with the round and the losses to pull it back. We'll have Boomich on an AK, everyone on an AK, in fact, except for Bit, who's carried over one of the M4s, so the only AWP is Farlig. Swearing through the door, nothing earned from that, other than the fact that the door has now been removed. Has to be the most abused door in CS, more so even than that of the one on Cash when it used to be there.
Door's got a long, storied history.
Yeah, absolutely. Can the new Cash door be blown apart? The old one couldn't be.
I believe so.
Yeah, I haven't played the new Cash very much. I mean, I have, but I just haven't played it enough to notice those details. I haven't done an actual 5v5 on it. A lot of deathmatch.
Smoke down for Blame F. This round's a little bit more calm and cautious approach from NaVi. Simple not just forcing his way into an entry kill towards ramp room. So a bit more standard. They know the ops in play. They know Farlig saved it. Flashbang is out, but actually it doesn't bounce into his eyes. Perfecto goes down. Zip is here for support, and so is Blame F. NaVi get red, and they get shut down.
Electronics swinging around as Glaive meets him and greets him at the door. Not exactly the greeting he was anticipating. He's not welcome inside. Made the journey for nothing. Simple might have something to say about that, though. He's going to barge his way in. No, he's not. Glaive turns around and shuts him out as well. So ends in the round going to Astralis. They're first in the game, and they do it rather efficiently, which is important because they're still not really established an economy on either side. There is certainly a buy for NaVi this time, but a chance for perhaps Astralis to break that down.
Oh, good standard shot from Farlig. Nice to see Astralis get on the board in such convincing fashion, keeping 4 players alive. Build up a little bit of money, a little bit of grace. Grace that they didn't get on Ancient. Zipix heading towards ramp room. Config and Glaive upper. Blame F and Farlig outside. Farlig is going to get aggressive. It's been talked about a number of times. A way more aggressive mindset and how he wants to play Farlig than some of his predecessors. Gets the one. Oh, and Simple couldn't land the headshot as him jumping over. They don't want to let him get away, though. Electronic eventually does trade it back, but he made it costly. Took down 2 with him. Oh, wow. That came out of nowhere. Wow. Bit coming out of hut. He's got 2 entries. Upper bomb site is open for the taking, but Bit's got to hold on a little bit longer because Perfecto had to walk all the way back to get the bomb.
Bit's trying to run away from the flash. Can't do it. Zipix with the kill. Contribution, he's up to 2, and it's Perfecto that has 2 to find in the round. That's what he's got total so far. He needs to double his totals.
That should tell. That tells Perfecto where both of them are, though, right? The pop flash coming out lets him know one is back towards CT spawn, one was up to get activated by that flashbang, so bail down to the lower bomb site. Now, the only thing that they really have to worry about, Blame F, just try your best. Don't have to necessarily commit to the fight, but try and keep him cordoned behind the silo. Try and keep him frozen here, scared of making his exit because his teammate's coming ever closer, but he just straight up wins it anyways.
Yeah, good call on that. he absolutely nailed that because he knew where they were. Even though they get downstairs, they just want to keep him in position. And communicating well. It's just a great shot from Blame F. They'll go back and grab some utility, make sure they've got the rifles they want, and we've got a second round for Astralis.
Yeah, second round for Astralis. This one a little bit more costly, obviously, but no big deal.
First time they've had back-to-back rounds this entire series.
Yeah, good point. Welcome, Astralis. We're here. We've arrived. Boomich getting caught fumbling with his nades. Early retake, pop flash catches Bit off guard. Would be interesting. I don't think there's any way. It's kind of I don't want to say, actually, unfortunate isn't the right word. I'm not really sure what the right word for it is, but you know, Bit gets those 2 kills in the upper bomb site when you don't really expect to get the double entry kills like that. Yeah, the bomb's obviously far away, so it does put like it's great. Obviously, you're going to take it every single time, but it does put some awkward pressure on him in the 2v2 to have to hold onto that site and kind of stand tall and well overexposed for that kind of a flashbang, as Bit has to spend time picking up the bomb and cautiously coming back to help out. Timeout taken. Ave being very vocal with Astralis. Blade studying his notes. I asked him about that. I asked him what was on those papers.
Yeah, and what did he say?
Notes. I said thanks.
Oh, wow.
Mystery solved.
You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. So it's not a copy of Dune.
It is not a copy of Dune. Or its sequels. It's tome-like sequels. Simple up top with the scout. On top of Twinkie. There goes Bit right through the smoke. Config spamming to make sure no one could get down or do his best to stop someone from getting down the vent. And he's done just that. 4 on 5 in the favor of Astralis. Farlig's got the deep angle with the AWP. Hasn't spotted anything yet.
Still gonna hold it though. Might get a chance. Shoulder peeking seems to be the aim and intention. Nade at the ready as well. It isn't going to happen fast enough for us to sit around and watch it, because that's just boring. So let's go over and see what Simple's up to outside. Trying to fire inside of that annex position as well. Get a wall bang toward the entrance. Config's on the other side of it. It's Config that's actually gotten 1 kill. Electronic goes down, Blame F to follow up. Simple falls down entirely, and we've got a 1-round game.
1-round game. Well done from Astralis. And this time as well, keeping plenty of players alive, so building that bank ever more. Looking much more comfortable here on Nuke.
And dead now, of course. Sibix with the kill on Perfecto. So yeah, getting a little bit more comfortable are Astralis. This, of course, is the map choice of NaVi this time around, so interesting to note that Astralis did very little on their own map choice.
Interesting to note, too, I believe earlier that the NA game that we had, the Complexity versus EG game, if EG had won that series, Astralis, I believe, would have been through to playoffs. The fact that Complexity actually took it means Complexity still has a low percentage chance, but they're still alive in the event, and Astralis still needs to qualify as well. So it puts a little bit more pressure on the Danish camp, but they're not thinking about that right now. Farlig makes his run over towards Secret. Last time he was aggressive, he had a double kill. That third smoke came in a little bit late and Electronic was exposed far too long. Perfecto does find a response, a rebuttal, but so does Farlig.
Blame F wanting to swing around this smoke, but there's no gap inside of it. He might just use it to be unpredictably in a new position when it does open up and give vision away. It should be now that he goes, because Simple got 1 kill on that, though. That's the problem. Blame F wanted to catch him off, but Simple still strikes. And then, despite the Blame F trades him, Bit was ready to strike back, so it could have been a much more efficient situation. Instead, though, falls to a 2-on-2. Farlig might give himself up, though. No. This could be okay. Yep, fine. Just totally fine. How about that for aggression, Maui Snake?
I cannot believe he hard cleared that. What a legend. Bit. 1 versus 2. Bomb in hand. Galil in hand as well. Glaive would be a great find to have. Put Farlig in an awkward situation with the AWP and half HP, but his headshot percentage is still there. Unfortunately, it's the Galil, not the AK-47, so it doesn't complete the kill, and that's got to be a little bit frustrating. 4-4. We're all tied up. Astralis in control of the game, in control of the economy, on a 4-round streak.
So Simple just, doing simple things. He was dead to rights. He was already low on HP. He was absolutely about to walk into the crossfire, Blame F, and he still finds a kill.
Yeah. He really does. Blame F was hiding. I believe he was worried, I think, about a pop flash with that smoke still up, still staying up a little bit longer. He didn't want there to be someone hiding in it, like exactly as Simple was, and a pop flash catch him. Good trades outside, though, for both teams. And a nice win in the 2v2 for Astralis. So back to pistols for Na'Vi. Farlig tagged up, but gets into safety. Ducks down into safety. Makes himself a small target.
Maui getting insecure on Twitter, defending himself already.
Yikes.
It's all right, he's very esports. Farlig clips Electronic, and the nade will follow up on to him, so he goes down outside pretty quickly. We've got a 4-4 game that's looking lovely now for Astralis as momentum builds. Glaive swings both directions. Maybe this is a map we should have Katie in here for. This one's looking like it's going to go further already. Brought him in like he said, thanks guys, just quick match, see you later. Simple.
He really earned his paycheck today.
Yeah, absolutely. Simple just absolutely smokes the head off of Blame F, but that's the only kill so far for Na'Vi.
Well, now that he's gone, Astralis seem to be finding their groove and fighting back, so Cadian might really be the Astralis curse. 5-4. 1 round lead for the Danes. Guns being picked up, though, from Na'Vi, so back to their full buys. That nade, ooh, pretty far away from Electronic, but little enough health that it does its job. Timeout taken from Na'Vi. Second one. They'll go back to the notes. This time it's Blade being vocal. Making some adjustments.
Yes, notes. The notes.
It was funny.
Yeah, I mean, what else? What were you expecting? Well, it actually says at this point in the round, if we split 1v2, this guy's going to go here, and then he's not going to give the game up to you.
No, he told me a little bit more. It's nothing crazy. I just didn't want to, talk about it on broadcast too much.
Fair.
Rather make it a funny story.
Yeah. You'll never get that same sort of satisfaction again if you were to, tell everyone what he told you. Nade to go to the door, that'll blow it out. Molotov goes through it, that'll cover off the main entrance. Blame F through the smoke outside already, while partially blind, takes down Electronic, and he had support in that play because he's not alone in that position. Config there, Zipic's behind, he can still throw support flashes. They aren't going to get away from it very easily. I take that back, they've got to smoke down. They lose only 1. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Blame F now in an unorthodox position. Could have potentially been more, I think, if you're going to throw that much at it.
Ooh, hiding here. Hiding here, Blame F. Losing some patience, going for the... Oh, he's in trouble. He's in a whole lot of trouble. Backup coming. They want to fight to keep him alive. Simple, trying to pre-fire the angle. Oh, he runs out of bullets as well. Awkward battle. Blame F's going to win it out. He can actually back away now if he wants. He's being cautious, jiggle peeking and pre-firing. He knows there's one more. And Blame F is doing a great job of just being a force to be reckoned with outside. Bit, however, coming up from Secret. If Perfecto can hold on a little bit longer, Bit's going to have a great backstab, but there's way too much aggression, way too much pressure. Here comes Bit. Blame F. Spins and looks.
Where's he going? Okay. Blame F to Bit. Zipic's blinded and through the smoke. Shows off his telekinesis and game sense to get the kill.
Nice.
Maybe that's the problem. He's not challenged enough. That's why he didn't get enough kills on action. He needs to be blinded, smoked, standing in a Molotov.
Okay.
And
he rises to the occasion.
Exactly. He wouldn't be standing in the smoke and the Molotov because that's not possible, but he would shoot through the smoke while blinded, standing in the Molotov.
Yep. It's nice to see Astralis, after getting absolutely whooped on Ancient, to come back into this one and fight for presence outside and actually meet Na'Vi at the point of attack. And really being willing to battle. Blame F, I think he's 1-2 and lost a single exchange to Electronic outside so far, so doing a pretty good job, all things considered. And that means there's no more outside presence and control for Na'Vi. It's all down to 4 players heading towards ramp room. Zipix. We'll see if your theory's correct.
Well, the Molotov's down, but it's not for him. Farlig's going to rotate over. Zipix. Who's going where, boys? Sort it out. Zipic's going to stay up toward the highway position. They're going to set up for a crossfire, so he'll bait them in. The big old fishing rod on Farlig. And I'm talking about his AWP, get your mind out of the gutter. Hits the shot on Simple, and actually Xyp9x's gonna just push through. So getting a little bit aggressive on this. Thought maybe that they would try and allow him to get through, rather to try and counter that and push through. But Bit taking config is gonna allow some sense of entry toward the upper bomb site. Look at this though. Should be an easy free kill. At least one. Perfecto is going to be the victim. Sees the gun barrel. No mistake about it. And they follow that up with Farley to get Bit through the wall.
Yeah, through the edge of the vent. Farley knows the possibility as Boomich wraps around. Oh, he just drops.
Oh, that's so outrageous. Think he could still catch him off on this. No, he couldn't because he went to the hut instead. Farley turns back and nails it.
That's unfortunate timing in pretty much every single way for Boomich.
Yep, that really is.
Nothing could have gone worse for Boomich in that situation. 7-4, 3-round lead, 7 straight as well for Astralis. Awesome to see. 16 kills for BlameF, flexing, which is also cool in its own way. Because remember, like when he was on the Complexity roster, when he was the juggernaut iteration of Complexity, Nuke was one of the maps where he was extremely good for the squad. Nice to see that standing true here on Astralis, at least in this match right now.
Glaive with a number of smokes in front of him, trying to find an angle. The one gap in the smoke, and that's where they meet, but Glaive gets the better of Bit. BlameF has to fade off inside of the entranceway. Farley. All right.
Challenge.
Where are those? This guy's worse than Lucky fans now, huh? Looking aggressive. No offense, Lucky, love you. But Farley looking pretty solid right now in this game.
Yeah. Cool to see. Like, and the whole conversation around Farley is that he likes to be a little bit more aggressive, and it's nice to see it coming to fruition here. Nice double kill. Also, that's the second time Bit has had that Galil. Is able to get a headshot, but can't actually complete the frag. Electronic in the door. Grabs one. 4 more to find. Bomb picked up. Minute left on the clock. Nice kill on top of Hut. Ooh, the follow-up would have been great. He actually brings BlameF very low, 24 HP. But BlameF himself gets up to 17 frags. 8-4, 8 straight.
8 straight indeed. Love this through the smoke config, never even giving up consideration of the close right position. Electronic did all right there. That actually didn't look that bad from this perspective we saw. It was obviously a body shot, not a thing, so it didn't throw his aim off. But yeah, he did do damage. Got him down, I think, to 28 in the end. Boomich outside to take the skylights out. We'll get ready with a Molotov. That goes toward the top of the hut.
Upper set piece coming in. Follow-up Molotov on top of the hut. Here we go. Molotov as well, though, right in the entrance of the hut, and that means nobody can get out. They're slowed down, which gives Glaive plenty of freedom and plenty of safety, although he's brought low. Now he's feeling the pressure. No one here to help him out just yet. Oh, perfecto. That's so many bullets missed on a low HP player. That would have been a fantastic kill to have, because that would have kept the attention at the upper bomb site. Electronic on the lurk, transfers over, dink, but no kill. It's all on Simple. 1 versus 3 in 2 extremely low HP opponents.
Simple starting to get toward the ramp. Open the doors at control to give the sense of a possible different approach, and he actually called off Xyp9x, who was staring it down. Now, he was low HP. That's going to give away the game. You can see how tentative and slow they were clearing the back stairs, though, with those doors open. That gave him the time to isolate Xyp9x. Trajectory of the nade. Knows one at least was on the stairs, but he'll hear him running back. That's the low HP player. Simple's going to follow it. Oh, he's buying so much time for himself. Follows the footsteps away, knowing that they're going back down to the door. He's hit Farley, and he might not be done with this round yet. Simple with all 3, and it's the round to NaVi.
That's absolutely beautiful. You're exactly right. Just the broken window, the door opening, bought him time to get aggressive towards ramp room, finds that kill. Magnificent clutch from Simple. And boy, did they need it. That stops an 8-0 run for Astralis. Gets NaVi back on the board, finally, with their 5th round. One more great clutch. Even
this is so smart the whole way through. Like, that is so smart. Everything he did, just enough. Like, slows them down by opening the doors. Kills Xyp9x. Oh, you kind of want to throw a nade through and then run back down? Cool, I'll just follow you. That's so sick.
Even at the point he jumps into the window, there's barely any time left on the clock. Electronic not able to get anything done again, this time outside. Glaive finds him through the smoke. And Boomich is going to take up that position of trying to harass and harangue the defense in the outer yard. Smoke starting to clear, and Farlig's got him. Oh, just a half second late. 5-on-3.
You take a nade, you take the bomb. All right, sir. Simple's going to head over toward the ramp room, covers off the back box. We know that Varlag has been there with the AWP, is there with the AWP, but could not collect the shot onto Simple.
Direct counter, Glaive drops the Molotov, drops the smoke. That's got to make NaVi very sad, extremely sad. They wanted to come outdoor, but there's no access, and config a Molotov in towards HUD as well. Astralis holding on to some utility. It's having great effect here to make sure NaVi can't get back into this round. They are locked out of the bomb site. They've used a smoke, they've used a Molotov. They now no longer have a smoke to use for Mini. So they got to get it done the hard way. One more Molotov towards the vent in case any defenders slid into that position during their absence. They know one position on top of HUD. That means Glaive and Blame F can combine to be aggressive and double peek door. It's time to save. Save for the last round. Simple can drop one. 5 is doable, but this has not been a pretty half for NaVi in any way.
Simple waiting for them to come back up. You're right, it hasn't been an easy half at all. Simple's going to get 2 further kills, but really at this point, they're just to keep guns in the hands for his teammates. The money is dwindling. They have a little bit left to buy and pass that around. Spread the wealth. But yeah, Astralis looking a much, much better team this game. I mean, I know it's the CT side of Nuke, but even still, they've looked better in the duels. They're actually communicating and getting crossfires and trades. Looking pretty good. And they lost the pistol as well.
Yeah, I mean, this does, I mean, obviously, you really only have up to go after that Ancient, but this does look like a whole new team. Good stuff from Astralis. Electronic and opening kill, just bum rushing the upper bomb site. That, I think, is going to cause a decent amount of utility to be spent by the upper defenders, as they got to be worried that more is coming. But the rest of NaVi have slowed things down. Happy to just take the one-man advantage. Perfecto burns down to 50 HP. Minute and 25 seconds left on the clock.
Varlag holding and staring down toward the main entrance. Into lobby. But no one there yet. Lobby just taking all the time available to them to reset outside. Good positioning from Blame to be forward, but it is very much an isolated position. There's no support for him. Varlag does eventually get the kill he was looking for. Smokes it off as well. Blame was he spotted? He absolutely was. Boomich saw him transferring over and nails the shot. That'll force one player, at least from Astralis, to have to back off and consider that entrance position. Can't shrink the map nearly as much as they wanted to.
Perfecto and Boomich with the 2 AK-47s. Bit still on that Galil, that poor Galil that has caused him so much suffering in this half. Perfecto's just waiting in lobby. Here comes the cross. No eyes on it. They've got to risk everything. Varlag remaining aggressive, spots one. And Perfecto's going to look for the push. He's going to get it. Gun barrel shows. I don't think Varlag realized that he was spotted out. 7 seconds left on the clock. Perfecto, he doesn't have to really move. He can just hold off on vent. He spots one more, goes for the fight. Bomb is being planted. Zipix is here quick, but his teammate is not. His teammate is far away, and that leaves Glaive in a 1 versus 2. Zipix thought maybe he had the time to push forward to stop the plant and just win the round outright by time. And that's left Glaive in a tough situation. Doors are open. He's been spotted out. Boomich and Bit, plenty of time to set up a crossfire that there's no way Glaive is going to be able to bust open. And he knows it. He's hoping for a mistake. He's hoping to draw someone out in the open, and it's just not going to happen. Boomich is going to get the final kill. And NaVi have a tough time in the middle portion of the half, but they managed to scrape together 6 rounds. Not bad. Headed to a break. We'll see if Astralis can continue the series or if NaVi's going to end it.
Hello and welcome back. I'm going to go over the key tendencies and strategies that can be found preparing against NaVi's nuke. Starting off on the T side, we first want to look at the key positions and who plays them. We should be looking out for Electronic to be the dedicated outside player and Bit to be the dedicated lobby player. The first thing to watch out for is NaVi's fast upper hit through door. This involves flashes from Perfecto that land at the upper site, while 3 people rush out through the door throwing Molotovs and flashes at Mini. The utility will push back any CTs at Mini, leaving the upper player isolated. On top of that, NaVi's front spawn will go into Hut to complete the push. CTs should be ready for this at least once per game. The second thing to look out for are NaVi's tendencies when they throw the diagonal smokes. Often they'll be in the 3-2 setup, but there are 2 special cases to consider. If they try flashing Electronic through the smoke to garage, then they're in a 4-1 setup with Bit alone at lobby. If there's no one outside at all, past matches have shown that it's likely to be an upper hit because Electronic has to throw one of the flashes for the hit. Now over on the CT side, we also need to know the basic positions of each player. What we should be expecting is Bit as the ramp player, Electronic as the outside player, Perfecto anchoring the upper site, Boomish should be holding the door, and Simple as the op towards outside and heaven. The third thing to watch out for is how Bit throws his HE at ramp. When he bounces it off the corner, he always plays aggressively directly in front of the smoke. But if he throws it off the wall, he takes a more passive angle towards the ramp. This is something to keep in mind whenever approaching the ramp position. That's going to wrap it up. See if you can spot these tendencies in NaVi's next match on Nuke.
Well, we get back into a different situation this time around than what we had on Action. Very one-sided map that was. This is Astralis in the lead, 9-6. Nice to see. They've got a little life in this series. Not what we would have hoped for. We would have liked to have seen a grueling affair on Action, given that that was their pick. And I think as many people would have suspected, the key to the series for them. But maybe they've got other ideas. Inferno's the third map if required. Ooh. We'll find out if we get there or not in a little bit of time. First and foremost, let's get through the pistol. Simple making contact. P2000 for Simple outside.
Yeah, dualies for Boomich.
All right, you calm down.
Oh, Perfecto feels the pressure under heaven. Trying to get a nice clean headshot. Not happening just yet. There's Simple. There's the P2K. Coming out with a headshot on the Config. Glaive is going to cross, but what is he? Electronic was hiding in secret the whole time, and this split, this attempt to get down to the lower bomb site from 2 or 3 different locations just is not panning out. Farlig, Blame F, and Zip to try and recover the round in a 3 versus 5.
Zipic's trying to get an opening somewhere. Get some information. Big garage, he's aware Simple's there, where's bombs over there, where he's got problems. Perfecto takes out Farlig, and Zipic's fell to Simple in the exact timing that went down, so it's all on to Blame F. And I think NaVi is about to take their second pistol in this map, which is the interesting aspect.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Both pistols now go in the way of NaVi. Obviously, Astralis kind of beat up on him a little bit in that first half with 8 rounds in a row in the middle portions of it, from rounds 5 to 12. And Blame F, nothing really left to do but go find a way to die, because there's 3 players ready to pounce. And indeed, they all swarm afterwards.
I feel like the dualies would be better instead of like cocking in your elbow and holding them at hip level with the accuracy. You should have them both out in front of you, your hand sideways like a gangster.
Okay, or like Nicolas Cage in Face Off. Castor
That
Troy.
is literally the worst movie in the entire world.
It's so good.
It's so bad.
You're just not a man of culture, is what
Dude,
it is.
I went back and was like, I'm gonna watch this again after
so
so
good.
many years. And at like 20 minutes into the plane, I wanted to vomit and I turned it off.
How can you not appreciate that movie for the masterpiece that it is?
It's so bad. Please, children, if you've never watched it, don't. You will waste that amount of time of your life, and I couldn't wish that upon anyone.
That movie is the pinnacle of Nicolas Cage's career.
Yeah, well, that sucks because it seems like he had a pretty shitty career then, didn't it? Look at this stack as they wait for them to try and push. Why not?
He bought 11 castles, Matt. He did not have a bad career. Maybe bad investment
Astralis
advice.
just trying to keep the camaraderie high right now, trying to bait them in.
Yeah, it's hoping for some. You're hoping that someone's gonna push up into it and just see if you get a. Yeah, see if you can get a kill. You know it's very unlikely, but maybe.
I'll send Glaive to make some noise elsewhere just in case that will encourage them to push outside. I would say Gone in 60 Seconds is Nicolas Cage's best.
That's a good shout. Gone in 60 Seconds is pretty legit.
And then you've got Face Off and Hellboy.
Nicolas Cage was in Hellboy?
What's the one with the motorbike that he rides and his head's on fire?
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
That was atrocious.
Whatever. Yeah.
All right, Bit. Holding a nade out. It's going to go a little deep. Decent. Actually, really good, nice damage on the far leg and Zipix. Blame F brought down to 80s. Everyone softened up. Simple is here for the lineup. The transfer over as Glaive jumps across. Simple has to do a little bit of skeet shooting. Config the last one left with just a Glock, and Simple's at 23 HP. He's not even going to risk the rifle. His teammate will take care of it. So 4 frags for Simple. No ace. And NaVi is within 1.
Yep, back into it just like that by way of pistol. They won 4 straight in the first half, just to note with that pistol round, and then it was only until rounds 13 and 15 that they won the next ones that they did. So they'll try and at least do that this half, and probably hope to go a little better. Tomorrow, remember, all 3 matchups happen at the exact same time, Jason. The reason for that is in a round robin, there is win conditions and lose conditions that therefore could determine who goes through. It may not even determine your own fate, but you could then influence the bracket based on who you want to go through, and they don't want anyone to have that sort of control, so everyone plays at the same time and don't know the results from one another. So, yeah, tomorrow night's matchup at the same time slot as this one is now, just so you know. It's the 1930 CET start. I'm sure they'll tell you all about it on the desk.
Yeah. Get the next day's schedule up there. Ooh, over the top. That's going to activate Electronic, who's close up. That wasn't nearly as effective as it felt like it was going to be. That's actually a pretty cool setup to do with that position from Simple. Unfortunately, an early dink onto Electronic means he wants to back away, a little bit scared. Bit's going to chuck out a flashbang and just back down. He's only got an SMG. He can feel the pressure coming. He wants nothing to do with it, so we'll call it out to the squad and play the round safe. I think Perfecto might have spotted like a toe last second. But look at what he's considering. He's got to watch 2 different things. They don't have anyone outside. He's so paranoid at the moment.
Flash goes in toward Blame F. Goes too deep, though. They're going to push this? I don't think so. Nuh-uh. Blame F with the kill. Perfecto, the next in line. He's going to smoke that position. Swing. Smoke already blooming. You can hear the footsteps going backwards. Sprays, but can't find. Needs to get the reload. It doesn't even matter. They're going to swing in from Squeaky instead, completely surrounding the site. The bomb to go down, and I think this is a double-digit scoreline. 10-8 for favor of Astralis.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. 2-round lead for Astralis. They get their first gun round on the board. There's money for NaVi to play with in the next round, so we're going to see another buy come in, especially if Simple and Bit can hang on to these weapons. I don't see any reason why Astralis would want to go for the hunt whatsoever. So, Nuke is at least interesting. Astralis was Ancient was a smashing, but this map now, a close affair where NaVi's going to have a little bit of a comeback, and we saw them kind of put in some pressure situations on certain maps throughout this group stage before Boomich joined. Another comeback is going to be in the cards for NaVi if they want to close out the series in 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So at least getting a bit of a challenge from this game. Of course, they have the heroic matchup, as we mentioned with Katie and on the broadcast in the previous map. Tomorrow, that is their head-to-head. And that'll be a banger of a match, I'm sure. The other matches, just note, Astralis will play Complexity and EG will play The Go. Bit already at the doorway. Glave's already out. They're going, and Boomich is not aware or ready. Couldn't decide which way to look. Perfecto only with one. Xyp9x has the other, but Perfecto steps up. The M4A4. Happy to have those extra bullets, perhaps, as they try to run him down, but Xyp9x does sneak in behind and manages the kill. Simple. Oh my goodness. Stuck inside a mini. No escape now. Locked against the wall. They'll take him out of the round, and a round indeed. Astralis looking like they're going to make this 11-8.
Yeah, and at least this time as well, they're taking all the weapons away from NaVi, so no chance for anyone to be able to drop rifles over and force out some kind of a buy. Bit just flirting with the idea. I'm gonna back off. BlameF looking to cut him off from retreat, but Bit's heading towards ramp room. 3-round lead now, yeah, and economic control as well. And I mean, remember on Ancient too, it was like crazy recoveries from guys like Simple and guys like Electronic. Simple with some timely triple kills. They won a 2v5. Every time Astralis got an advantage, someone was in a perfect position to take it away from them. Here, it's a little bit more quiet from the NaVi guys on an individual level. I mean, Simple's still playing very well, but there's no incredible heroics. And actually, when I say Simple's playing very well, he's got 23 kills. His next closest teammate has 9. That's Boomich.
Yeah, that's almost config levels of Astralis on Ancient.
Yep, so Simple's kind of in hard carry mode and trying to keep his team in this game while the rest of his mates wake up and show up for the fight. Doing his best. But while this is happening, while the other 4 have been lulled to sleep, Astralis is taking a commanding lead. Commanding lead.
Drop down. No, he saw the foot. Yeah, BlameF saw it. So Boomich has been spotted. Okay, he has, in turn, BlameF been spotted by Electronic, and that is a lovely deagle shot.
I'll see your spot and I'll raise you. A deagle headshot.
I like to put an E on the end of it, pronounce it Degal. I think it sounds pretty cool.
It doesn't.
It's a Joe Dirt reference.
Okay. Don't ever try and tell me Face Off's a bad movie right before Joe Dirt reference.
Dirt is a way better movie than
Simple.
I was even about to say that to you, okay?
Is just
I would rather
chilling.
carry around a giant space turd than watch Face Off.
Perfecto in the upper bomb site. Boomich is rotating back. Simple still alive. He knows one made it down already. Config looking for someone he can battle. Unfortunately, they don't even really need to deal with Simple. They can just leave him parked there behind the box. They're planning at the upper site. Boomich is rotating up secret. This round should be done and dusted. I think Boomich is trying to go for the AK-47. Oh, interesting. If he can get this kill, they might actually be pulled into this retake. They might actually be able to do this. Oh, that's unfortunate. Needed one more bullet because Simple was coming in on the flank with an AK-47. That would have been very interesting if this had turned into a 2-on-2 because there's plenty of time left in the bomb.
And he will work back toward the T-spawn to save the weapon. We're going to have 12 now for Astralis. This isn't looking good if you're NaVi. After the way the last map went, thought this would be a walk in the park. Not the first time in this group that they've dominated the opening game and then struggled in the second. You go back to day one, the huge amount of overtimes against AGO.
Yeah.
After beating them 16-1. The day after, against Complexity, they played a huge opening game and then still struggled to close that one out as well.
Alrighty then, both teams looking to take their opponent's map pick. Astralis has got out to a big lead, but they've done it off the back of a few rounds like this of unarmored pistols. NaVi's going to get back to the buy right now. They've been able to handle these rounds pretty well. Interestingly enough, Simple had the money for an AWP, but he's going to choose to keep the AK-47 he brought into this round. So all rifle setup for NaVi. But they need to get started right now. Blade having a chat. Reading from his notes. Here we go, round 21. Perfecto a little bit light on nades. Molotov smoke Bit as well is just going to have the one smoke, and Simple the sole kit on the entire CT side. So keep your eyes on that. If there's a retake scenario, that's going to be the all-important kit that NaVi's going to have to keep track of. Electronic out in the open over the top, can't complete the kill, but he's done good damage on a Config. He's at least taken away the route that Config wanted to run.
Farleg looking for an angle outside. And Electronic is the one that would be on the receiving end of it as he tries to put himself back into a position of relevancy to watch the big red box. What's in the box? Nice nade config. Tag to 22.
That's a nice player to be forced to make passive just due to the damage that you've dealt to him. That's got to be comforting. Oh, good timing on the spam. Even getting some chip damage onto Farlig. There goes config, finally cleaned up by Simple through the smoke. Yes, it is, and they need a lot more players to survive all the way through the round. That was one Simple might want to have back. Good shot from Farlig over the top, and Blame F still waiting outside of lobby as well.
Yeah, Simple gave himself away on that one. Sprayed in and just above the smoke on top of the crate. Farlig was easily able to pick him off.
Astralis is going to have a... This round is tough. They've got 4 flashbangs and a Molotov. They don't have any smokes to help them really feel comfortable getting into the lower bomb site. So it's going to be difficult for them to break in. Even if they wanted to come back up secret to readjust to the upper bomb site, they don't really have anything to help them cross over. So Blame F is going to have to be super impactful on this lurk. And Bit in the lower bomb site has got a kill. So does Electronic. Bit goes down. Farlig the last one remaining. It's 8 seconds left. The bomb will not get planted.
It was a good try, Jason.
No.
Covered your bases there. Will not get it. So 12-9, NaVi at least get one more back on the board. That is surprisingly their first since the pistol. I mentioned that they got 4 straight after pistol first half, and then it took them around 13-15. This time they only got 2, but they answer back sooner, so still a chance to claw back into this game. For Astralis, they look pretty solid. I mean, you had that run of 8 rounds in a row in the first half.
Yeah, 9 of 10 as well.
Exactly. I mean, it would be disappointing to let NaVi back into this. Blame F doesn't want to give them any time for that. Flash came in late, but it works as Glaive is the one to throw it. Xyp9x already has Perfecto and Simple forced off the angle upper already with the AWP. Electronic completely locked out of the site. That was fast from Astralis.
Yeah, nice change of pace. And if they don't give any mistakes over early on after this bomb gets planted, I think Navi's going to want to call for the save perhaps, just because losing all this now would be brutal at this stage of the game. They need these weapons to fight for it. Good kill from Electronic. That might pull them forward, but he's, I think, too low HP. Yeah, Navi finding some secure positions to keep these weapons in hand for round 23, but that's going to put Astralis on 13, inching closer to a third map, inching closer to Inferno.
Yeah, we are getting very close to Inferno now. And wouldn't that really just catch things on fire in the series? So, Xyp9x pretty solid this game. I know the memes were coming in thick and fast in Twitch chat last game, but looking much, much more the part of entry this time by. It's only 11 kills, but they're all pretty substantial.
4-round deficit for Navi. Electronic outside, the only one. Simple up in heaven at the beginning. Shifting between locations. He's the most mobile player on the defense, and Electronics have a late push outside. Ooh, he's giving up his position. Gotta get away, gotta get back, and he just makes it. Glaive couldn't get there in time. Config had to be cautious in case there was backup for Electronic. So no punish just yet. Now, they might think he went in towards Mini. Simple's actually going to swap positions, or at least come outside to put that op in position to help out.
Simple. Still searching for an opening. So considering the fast pace of the last round, we're down to a minute this time, and there's been no damage dealt either. Well, I'd take it back. Xyp9x is 97. All right, but you get my point. There's been no damage dealt either direction. Farlig as well.
One of the things that made the first half so difficult for Navi was the fact that Astralis was able to hold on to some Molotovs to stop these kinds of late-round executes, mid- and late-round executes that were coming in. Navi don't have that luxury just by virtue of the fact that their economy is crap. It's been beaten up, it's been busted a number of times from Astralis, so they're still trying to get into some comfort so that they can have all those tools to keep themselves alive in these CT rounds.
Blameaf trying to find an angle. Smoke to go cover the main entrance. They'll drop a Molotov back down on top of the hut as well. Blameaf's going to win Electronics battle as he's forced out of position, forced out of the corner. Perfecto! He's only got one. He can only look one direction at a time, and they come around from both sides. Simple on the flank. They know he's here, though, because he's already taken one shot. Bomb to be planted. Smoke goes out. He's unaware of the fact that they're staring him down from the box in the corner, and Config wins that. Astralis wins the round. We are 2 from the finish of this map.
Yeah, if you're going to win a round like that, as simple, you got to take a risk somewhere, and unfortunately, it's just the wrong one. Config lying in wait in the corner. It's an easy kill, and final timeout taken from NaVi. One last conversation with Blade to try and recover this. Now, I mean, look, this is still doable. Like, they're only 5 rounds away. They can easily close that gap pretty quick. The problem is just by eye test throughout this half. Astralis is getting the opening kills now. They're making good calls, good reads, playing strong Counter-Strike. They're not dropping the ball. They're not missing any details. So Astralis is just playing very, very well at the moment. And I think NaVi would love to have a reprieve where they maybe get to go up against pistols, half-buys. They're just far away from that point at the moment. Gotta be happy if you're Glaive and Astralis. The kind of bounce back you're showing after getting wiped out of Ancient is admirable.
Blameaf. Glaive's already outside, that wall smoke down. He's going to try and pursue the position of Simple, who's on an AUG of all things, trying to use that outside position, but very limited in his angles and range this time. Glaive, cat and mouse, knows that he's likely there, and he wins the exchange. The slow fire rate of the AUG can be difficult, if not menacing, when you do not get the opening shot or the angle in the lineup you want. Down to 4 HP is Glaive. He'll go back and flash Mini to support his teammates, but still holds the stairwell in case they want to go back that direction, because right now they're still splitting the map. They're actually going to try and pursue the ramp bit. Thinks and knows they could be going that direction. They could be wrapping outside. He's not wrong. Config's there, but that exposes the backside. Blameaf doesn't want to make noise, but wants to close that gap, so knife walks across the floor, and an easy kill when he gets the catch and tap. See ya.
Yeah, Astralis is getting all the reads right now. This is great. This has been a good showing, except for that read. Good shot from Electronic from beneath. Config never expected it whatsoever. Boomich is going to be down here. Great Molotov, but he's close enough to step in front. I think the tick of the Molotov might have given him away, but Blameaf couldn't control the recoil as he jumps through the window. 3-on-2, and Electronic goes down next. He was on point on Ancient. Here he's getting shut down. Zipix and Farlig to defend. No kit.
Here we go. They ran a gun it as well. They actually checked it, but they saw and could not deliver. As Farlig was able to isolate one, it's going to be map point for Astralis. A desperate attempt to get back inside of the site, you have to say, but man, oh man, this is looking really solid all of a sudden. Where did this come from?
Yeah, I mean, if you're NaVi as well, I mean, you're obviously gonna be a little bit bummed. Watching, I'm not super disappointed. They've made some of these rounds very close, but Astralis is playing really, really good in the late rounds. In some of these clutches situations in the second half, Astralis has just been on point in the 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s. Some nice calling as well coming out from Glaive. What can you do? 6 rounds in a row NaVi needs to force overtime on map 2 to deny Inferno over to Astralis, or at least take us to overtime to potentially deny the map. Blameaf over the top, gets dinked up, playing a dangerous game, especially against that SMG, just chucking bullets into the smoke.
Simple just waiting it out. Clever little angle, you have to say, to look into the lobby.
A tough angle with a FAMAS, though. Very tough angle, very narrow one, and obviously a headshot's not going to complete things. It's been spotted out. Blameaf calls out the boost, calls out 2 players in that position. 40 seconds on the clock now as Boomich jumps up on hut. All 5 players in lobby for Astralis.
Bouncing the utility off the walls through the door. Bit on his own has to drop away. Stay alive, stay efficient, and try and find a better angle. They know that he's doing so, and they're not actually going to go after it. They just want to force the CTs into uncomfortable positions, but uncomfortably, Perfecto has made his way into the lobby. 2 kills on the very powerful UMP. Oh. My goodness, Glaive not easily able to walk through the door, though the shot does come back. The problem now is that Simple's left on 24. Just enough time that bomb is going to be planted, and Farlig has 81. The new recruit versus the wily old fox, and Simple is rotating back around. He wants to get up above. He wants to go up the ladder to try and take this site back. Farlig on top of the hut. How does he anticipate this? How does he get the read? Does he consider looking that direction at the right time? And Simple's arrived up top. Easy shot, surely. Easy indeed. Oh, he went for the spray rather than tap, but he'll get it. And we're not done yet. 15-10.
Another just brilliant mind game clutch from Simple. That's 2 in this map, but it's really not enough to keep them in it. That time, giving the footsteps away like he's flanking lobby. Plenty of time in the bomb timer for him to walk all the way back around towards heaven. And Farlig, that's a tough one to read. You think Simple's just being patient, hoping you're going to peek, but completely new angle. He gets a freebie. So Simple with 2 magnificent clutches and 28 kills. He's doubled up his next closest teammate of Electronic with 14. On the other side of things, it's BlameF continuing to have a good game. 24 and 14 for him, 20 kills on Glaive. And NaVi looking for 5 more straight to take us to overtime.
Not out of the realm of possibility, but the unlikeliness is certainly apparent. Perfecto did a brilliant job of getting inside of the lobby after they tried to fake over toward the ramp.
Needed it as well. There were at that point in the round, there were no kits and there was no utility on NaVi. Multiple SMGs and just Astralis trying to get a little bit creative with the timer running down. Didn't want to mess with any kind of defense that had rotated down low. They were hoping that they had pulled NaVi into an over-rotation to the lower bomb site that could take advantage of in upper, but not the case with Perfecto pushed into lobby.
Electronic up close. Watch that gun barrel. They're going to run by him. So they haven't spotted him at all yet, and they're going to think this is safe. This could be massive. That last player, Farlig, had to fire at him. Now they know, and they're not gone yet.
It's a silencer, man. It's so strong.
Yeah, apparently he didn't call that out. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's hard to tell as that smoke's clearing where that's coming from. Maybe you're thinking you're just getting shot from credit, from blue box, from warehouse. It could have been anywhere in theory. So yeah, silencer does its job. A little bit of confusion the Astralis side, and Electronic's able to get away with 2.
Oh, bit. Zipix had nowhere to hide. Just stuck against the wall. He'll get nailed to it, and it's all on BlameF. Press F on Simple's head.
I don't really have any statistics or anything to back this up in this game, but one thing that I feel like, I don't know if my brain's just only noticing it when it's happening, but someone like Bit with like one of the super high headshot percentages, I feel like most of the time in the first half I saw him with a Galil. He's been playing with a lot of SMGs in the second half due to the economy situation for NaVi. Now he's got a FAMAS as well, and I want to be like, someone just give him like an AK-47.
Oh no, hang on. Yep. 4 kills. All headshots, oh my god. BlameF could have clutched out the game right there.
Yeah, he could have. Nice try from BlameF. 15-11. And look, even like it's not going to feel great. 4 kills from BlameF. You're keeping the money in such a weird spot. This has been a very tough half for NaVi on the CT side. They have not had a whole lot of resources. They have not had a whole lot of rounds that they've been able to play in a row where they've had everything they've wanted between nades, between an AWP, between M4s. It's been very scrappy buys with frequency for NaVi. Again, 3 SMGs. FAMAS on Bit.
Simple. MP9 to try and do any damage that he potentially can through the doorway. The long shot this time, not silenced. But straight as it takes out Config, BlameF will get the shot back onto him. BlameF sneaking back through the lobby, trying not to give anything away as Boomich gets close, and you're right, look at the damage that BlameF did economically. It's just catastrophic for NaVi. They could have had a very efficient round there. Could have had all 5 staying alive, well 4 at least as the situation were, but
Oh, no way. The hot hand contact play out. Squeak door. Perfecto's caught. Boomich has control of Hut, though. But does that actually amount to anything? Can that actually pull them into a victory? Glaive. Oh, little one tap, but it's given away his position for Bit, and now he can toy with them. He has to delay as long as possible. Simple walking in has got one. He's traded off immediately. It's all on Bit. He knows the position of Glaive. He knows where he was. Does Glaive play this? Ooh.
Do not get caught with a nade out at this point in time. Not when you know he's already gotten them for the tap with the P250. This is smart from Glaive. Took advantage of pushing him back in that corner, seeing that he was reloading runs, and he's picked up an MP9, which is absolutely deadly against Bit's 49 HP. Smoke's going to try and cover. He's through it. He's heard, though, and Bit will keep this game alive. We go 15-12.
That took all 6 bullets left in the magazine for Bit to get that one. One shot missed, and it would have been the end of the map. 15-12. Three more chances for Astralis to take us to map 3. And again, down to just one player surviving. It's just so brutal. Plant is going to help Astralis, though, put together a bit of a stronger buy. They did invest a little bit in the previous round to make sure they had some elements of danger. 1-for-1 outside to start the round. Awkward collection situation for Bit, but he handles it well.
Not done yet. Glaive trying to dig deep to get this one over the line. There will be better weaponry this time for NaVi. Presumably Boomich will have a gun on the ground. We don't see it yet, but I'll update you in that as soon as he picks it up. MP9, interesting. Okay, so we had $4,000, but they elect to bring out the greater utility. 2 kits in play. Perfecto and Bit. Spamming the door. Simple's outside this time on the AWP. Jumps to see if anyone's atop of silo. No one is yet. Corner smoke and deep onto Secret. We haven't seen them go that way in a while, but it's certainly going to force the rifle at Mini off that position, and Simple's going to rotate all the way back over toward Heaven so that he's got an elongated angle on this. So setting for an execution. 2 to bust out the hut.
No counter utility really for NaVi to slow it down either. Electronic does have a smoke. He's playing behind the vent, so if he gets mollied off, or he could just put that down in front of the door. But nothing to make this all that disjointed. Here we go.
Perfecto's the one above, though. He gets only one. He looks straight down, but the flash is raining in front of his vision. It's Electronic that has to turn, swivel, and pivot on the site to find kills. He manages to do so. That lets Simple get Farley, and it's all on to Xyp9x. With 38 seconds, he finds himself in a 1-on-3 bomb nowhere near the site, as it is at least in his hands, but not near being planted, as he'll go back toward the door. Boomich is the one that's watching it. Now he knows he's above. He'll stagger the peak. And without the rafters being playable on this side, hasn't been for quite some time, remember, it's more difficult for the Heaven to respond. So he's trying to isolate that shot before getting counter-peeked or getting doubled, but they're going to back off, so he has to go wide, and when he does, they greet him with a bullet.
Uh-oh. Defense starting to look strong. Defense starting to hold these bomb sites, and now they've got the money. Now they're flush with cash. They can rebuy all the Molotovs and all the smokes and all the nades. Gets harder for Astralis. They do have the full losing bonus. I think this is going to be a half buy of some sort. Armor, upgraded pistols, Tech 9s and Deagles, a little bit of light utility. And the final round will be a full buy. Unless they can pull it off right here, right now. 15-13. NaVi has won 4 in a row. Simple on 30 kills. Outside with the AWP. Glaive in the smoke.
Electronic up to 18 as well. He's stepped up quite a lot. See if he's got anything this time as well, playing inside of that smoke at Annex. Simple way off the angle as they've taken so much control with these smokes down. They're going to go into the garage now. Now that's interesting because the Tech 9s going to be very powerful against Electronic's position, but Simple with the op.
It's just one, and we've seen this T-half from Astralis. They've had a couple times where they've had some late flanks in. I'm actually surprised Glaive gave it up there, but he is causing chaos. He is causing some confusion in the defense and probably forcing out some rotations. Bit is peeled away from ramp room to help come deal with this. Oh, that's huge. That is so massive. Perfecto trades back, but Config with another one. And uh-oh, here we go. This is not good for NaVi.
Oh me, oh my. Simple removed. Config the follow-up. AWP in their hands. Boomich has already gone running, trying to swarm this lower bomb site. And here comes the play. Farlig trades again, but bomb dropped temporarily. Boomich knows where it's gone down. They don't yet know where Config is coming with that AWP. And Boomich not seeing anything once those doors shut, so he can make a play confidently on either side. Bomb will get safely put down on the site. This is difficult. This is desperate. Perfecto holds out on Blameth, who gets aggressive. Second player spotted. And Boomich just trying to keep himself in contention here, not to be isolated. Farlig, he wants to play it on the door so that when it opens, Boomich will be on the other side, but he gets the read. Instead, it's all down to that AWP that was picked up from Simple, and it's not going to get the kill. The defuse to come in. We have used all 30 rounds.
Crazy little retake. We said that Astralis had been playing some of these late rounds so well. I think this one got away with them. A few little mistakes there, I think, cost them dearly in a 3-on-2 post-plant situation. NaVi is still alive. However, that was just kind of the cherry on top for Astralis. That was a round that they weren't necessarily meant to win, but they still made it competitive. Now you get the real buy from Astralis. Now you get the AK-47s. You have Farlig on the AWP. Both teams full utility. There's 3 kits on the NaVi side as well, so they're starting to feel pretty good. One final round. Overtime or map 3.
Inferno relation. NaVi going to be trying desperately to get this wrapped up as Electronic sits down below Config. He jumped in. There was a lot of utility. I don't think Electronic would have heard that. He is still playing a passive position, but he's got eyes in both directions because that squeaky doorway has certainly been a problem. They've got 3 down the stairs already.
Yeah, well, they got Simple down the stairs.
Flash over.
You've got 3. What do we have? Simple.
I don't think it is this simple. Is there, oh, okay, maybe it is. They walked out, but that is a lovely shot to trade it back. Glaive with accuracy as ever. And now Config strikes dropping down. Electronic trades that. We sit to a 3-on-3, but Blameth finds him and the bomb downstairs. Bitch gonna get caught out. He walked too far forward. And Inferno looking likely because Perfecto is far from the picture.
Yeah, he's way out of position, and you could see Astralis had so much space on the map. They had so many players in a perfect spot to cut off rotations towards Mini. Absolutely perfect. No one able to get down vents to help out, and they lose too many players. Perfecto, this would be something special. He has that kit, as we mentioned, but only the one flashbang. Turning the corner, looking for a mistake, looking to grab one.
They're not going to peek.
Not this time. They learned their lesson in the previous round.
Quick peek, and down he goes. Trying to break out the window. Blameth confirms it. What a turnaround from a